was afraid of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. Big freighters going was better than most, with a crewy and good captain well seasoned. Dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait. The waves broke over the railing. Every man knew as the captain in hell, which of November comes the sun.
Yo, welcome to SmallmouthCrush Live, back in the studio. Welcome, everybody. Waves, Kern and Ice, Anthony, Darius, Sean. Epic Eric just disappeared as soon as I hit the button. This is ridiculous. Dude's been gone for 3 months, comes back and can't get his stuff right.
It's terrible. What can I tell you?
I hear you laughing, bro.
Dude, what can I say, man? My computer, the Ethernet connection blew up. Now I'm on my iPad. I got a bad signal. It's just wonky, dude. Wonky. What can I say?
Oh, my goodness. Well,
dang it.
Man, I've been ready, sitting here for hours preparing for this show tonight. And this is how it's going to be, guys. But we'll work through it. We have a pretty cool show lined up. Open topic. Basically, that means I've been too busy to prepare for anything. What's that, E? Yeah, stop talking, Eric. Come on, man. We got a buddy of mine is going to be coming on a little bit later. A couple things right off the top that I want to make sure I let everybody know. The Patreon for May will be next week, Monday. And so somewhere in here we can put that up on how to sign up for that if you haven't already. I know a lot of you guys are. And it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to share with you some baits that have been working well for me. Some sneaky little baits, some stuff that you guys really need to start using and trying. I feel it's going to help you catch more fish. I'm really excited about some of these baits that I'm going to be talking to you about on the Patreon. I'm going to go into detail how we're using it, where we're using it, and why we're using it, and why you need to use it. We're also going to do a prize package tonight, 2 of them. So I'll let you know how you can enter for a chance to win there. Then we're going to get back on track with the Real Shot Tackle Tip of the Week, where you can head on over to therealshot.com and use my code SmallmouthCrush15, which I know a lot of you guys have been taking advantage of, and get 15% off your first order. And we're just kind of waiting here for Eric to step back in. How's everyone doing? I can't believe it's almost June. This is ridiculous. I want to know in the comments how the weather's been for you. Does it feel like June? It didn't feel like June today. I had a guy trip on the Chesapeake. It was 90 degrees yesterday. And I was cold today out there. And I went to an area where I was on some fish, and the tide wasn't right, nor the wind. 30-mile-an-hour east winds today. And I said, nope, we're out of here. Was able to find some fish later in the day, some good fish, tournament quality fish, fish in heart structure.
What is up?
Brodus.
Back in action. Got a new little background set in. Big shout out to Chasing That Bass. He's a big fan of the show. He sent me this one, and then a little later on the show, I'll wait till BTC hops on. He sent me a second one that's pretty comical. I'm sure Brian will get a kick out of that. So we'll have that going on later in the show. But yeah, feels good to be back, and Hopefully we see
Oh.
Eric pop back in here in a second.
Oh, he'll be in. He'll be in. Ah,
Busy,
Well,
busy. So, go ahead.
12-pound Tom needs dad is in the comments.
Hey. You want to go into your BFL finish this weekend at all, Travis? It seemed like there's a lot of boats out there. You finesse fished your way to the top 3.
Yeah, I sucked, man. 3rd place loser. I got my first MLF.
Hey.
You know, another collection. I felt kind of weird, you know. MLF boycotted them last year, but decided to jump in and do it up.
No better way to get revenge on them than take some of their money, I guess.
I
There he
guess.
Back to when like history, like
Eric, is your son there? Can he maybe help you out?
trouble shooting for.
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready, bro.
What you gonna do? So, what was the bait of the week for Travis, or for the weekend on the BFL? Is it big TRD again? You drop shot, and what were you doing up there?
Well, so we have a bunch of tournaments coming up on the Chesapeake. And so I'll tell you this. I'll be talking about it on the Patreon Monday.
Sounds fair to me.
But with all due respect to the peeps, it's pretty much what I normally throw. If you guys watch or listen to me talk, that's kind of what I've been doing. A buddy of mine did hook me up with a unique bait that I need to talk to him about at some point to see if I can talk about it. What I love about fishing and kind of grass fishing, whether it be grass or hardcover, I mean, every year it seems there's a new 1 or 2 baits that I add to my arsenal. And normally it doesn't happen this quick. You know, by mid-May, I'm using and have basically it's to the point where there's going to be 2 designated rods on the deck in every event or every day I'm fishing across the country now of these baits. And that's awesome to be able to have something like that in your arsenal and have that much confidence in. See if we can get Eric back in. Eric, give me a thumbs up down there if you're ready. Okay, let's try this again. So what happened? Now it looks good.
Yeah, I'm on the tiny iPhone, man. I tried to hotspot to my iPad. I've been doing everything.
Dang, dude.
What's up with that?
Third high-tech device is the charm, I guess, nowadays. But hey.
Yeah, and the Dell crapped out. Jesus. What the heck?
No, listen, guys, I do appreciate the comments. 3rd place is respectable. You know, I gave Jimmy some crap the other day, like a couple months ago, for taking 5th in a 20-bolt tournament, but this was like 150, so 3rd's respectable. I was in the lead for quite a while, man. Fingers crossed. I only had 19 pounds 1 ounce. 22 won. Ed Casey won. And it was one of those deals where, well, let me explain how my day went real quick. First of all, we have a lot to catch up. If you guys haven't seen last week's live, it was kind of impromptu. Roland Martin stopped in. Eric's still grinning ear to ear about that.
Unbelievable.
So much fun.
Unreal.
And the week prior, we were down in the I think we skipped last. All I know is my intern sends me a text message and says, I'm not going to be available for the next 2 weeks. See ya. And so he left me hanging when I was on the road to the Opens and when we had the epic, one of the greatest anglers of all time on the show. And he just leaves without asking, without nothing. He just gone. So I got no help. I got nothing. Alex, what's the deal with that, bro?
So yeah, I got married last May actually, and we had a honeymoon lined up. We were gonna go to Table Rock, stay at that big Bass Pro, whatever the heck they got down there, and then we decided not to because sounded like the only thing you could really do there was sit in your hotel room and watch. Like they didn't really have much going on because of COVID, so we delayed it to this year. Made a trip down to. We did 2 separate trips, so we went to Hartwell for the first half of it, and then we went to Chickamauga on the second half. So I did finesse my way into getting a little time on the boat during it. Had a good time and a lot of driving, but glad to be home and back on the horse here. Got a lot of stuff going on between here and BU and starting my other internship tomorrow morning. So got a lot going on, but excited to be back and had a good time on the trip. Yeah.
Good. You caught some fish?
I did. Yeah. So at Hartwell, I probably only had say 10 hours on each lake. So my goal was Hartwell. I wanted to come away feeling more confident in a fluke. I did that. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to go down the bank there and catch as many spotted bass as you want to. And then Chickamauga, my goal was to
Put your fingers down, Eric.
catch something bigger than a 5-pounder and learn about ledge fishing. So I learned about ledge fishing, and I came close to the over 5-pounder. So I pulled up to a stretch of docks in the morning, and I didn't see this guy. He's on the other side of like a big house dock, and I didn't see him. And there was about 3 docks in between us. So I decided, okay, I'll let him fish him. He was here before me. I didn't see him. So I went around him, and he throws to the dock that's like right in between us as I start trolling away from it. He goes, "Oh, I got one." He starts reeling it in. He puts it in the net, and I'm like, "Is that a big one?" And he goes, "Oh, it's just about an 8-pounder," and keeps going. So I was about 2 docks away from an 8-pounder had I not been the nice guy, but I think it was the right thing to do. He was there way before me, so one of these days I'm sure I'll run into that big one. But yeah, had a lot of fun down there. Got into a little ledge bite, and then got home last weekend. So yeah, been pretty crazy around here.
Look at Eric's grin. Someone take a screenshot of that, please.
He's never gonna stop smiling now.
You get your shit right, man. I don't get it.
Neither do I.
Come on, bro. Get it together. This can't be that hard.
Am I frozen still?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Pop out, because that's a demon face you're showing us, dude. That's like the evilest grin I've ever seen you give.
So weird. I can hear you, but I can see myself on my iPhone. My lips are moving, but you're saying I'm frozen?
Absolutely.
So crazy.
Without a doubt.
Wow. Can everybody else hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm frozen. The image is crazy, man. This is awesome.
Oh, there it goes. Sort of.
I'm back.
You're just frozen in a different position now.
You're good now.
Awesome. I'm just here for the comic relief, man.
Anyways,
Roland Martin. Nothing can ruin my night. You and I fished with Roland Martin for the full day.
Yeah.
I got to share a bed with Roland Martin, a bed fish with Roland Martin.
You did.
I'm waiting to tell that joke all week, by the way. How was my timing, Alex?
That's pretty good. I liked it.
Thank you. We worked that fish over together.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Eric, you're still frozen, dude.
What are you trying to say?
Get it right, please. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the system. Okay.
I'm mad at the system too.
I'm not mad at you.
All right. Should I just leave?
Yep. I'm gonna remove you, and we got to get this figured out.
So Travis, while we're waiting on him to come back, I was watching your results at the James, and I kind of saw something that reminded me of what happened to you at Chickamauga. So you had a pretty good first day. You kept yourself in the hunt. And then in both tournaments on the second day, you did not have as good as you pretty much came in with about half of the weight you did the first day. So that happened twice now. So is that something that has happened to you a lot in the past? Is it new to this year?
It has.
Why do you think that is? And do you have any ways you think you could fix that?
Man, the excuse I'm going to give you for the James, the fact that day 2 I had a real short day. I was one of the first flights out. I was the first flight, so I had to be back at 2. We had an hour some fog delay, and I was running an hour both one way. So that burned up 3 hours out of a 8-hour day. So that gives me 5 hours on a terrible tide. And I had too much spots in practice, I think, that really affected, kind of affected the way I fished. Eric spent a day practicing with me, and we caught some good fish in practice. And
Can I
found
post
some...
that picture now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I've been waiting to post a picture of like a 5. This is pretty funny. Travis goes, so we're in an area where I fished before, and it's a pretty good it's a bite, and it's streaming away. And I'm like, should I set? And Travis is like, go ahead.
You know what? I might have it here.
What?
I might have a clip of that.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
You were filming. I forgot you were filming.
Yeah, let me find that.
That's pretty funny.
If I can. Date modified yesterday. Insta. Oh, well, I got a couple. No, I don't have that, but I do have something kind of funny. Let me pull that up here, guys. Eric and I really tried to get back in some crazy
Oh my gosh.
places. I just want to share with you. This burned up our whole morning. Actually, this leads into a couple good things. I want to talk about the opens with you guys. So let me share with you. First of all,
that was pretty fun.
I wanted to get back into this little pond.
Mm-hmm.
And at the start of the event, when we got all of our information, there was 0 off limits for the James. You couldn't lock, and you couldn't fish around the,
barge pits.
Something. Anyways, I didn't find out until 2 days prior of the event that this area was off limits. So we burned half a morning, Eric.
We did.
Trying to get back to this area.
We had some crafty ideas of what
what, and then they tell us 2 days prior that you can't go there. You need to tell us before the start of official practice at least.
Uncool.
So we don't have to waste our time.
Yep.
I mean, that was my feelings. But let me pull that up because it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
We worked our way in.
Just doing a little housework, little yard cleanup.
Listen to Eric's comment. Made me laugh.
Look at that guy. The regular fucking arborist. Just get in there and wrestle it like an alligator. You got to power over with the big motor. Well, this is kind of a pickle. What am I getting? We do to chase little green fish.
All right, there you go. So that was one quick clip. I do want to find. I gotta find that clip of you setting the hook on that fish. So Eric had a. We'll tell the story, Eric.
So we're kind of in a section I know pretty good, and we're. I mean, I don't want to say too much. Do you want me to say? Okay, so we're.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we're power shotting, and I flick it to a very decent spot, and the line starts to race out, and I'm like, we're not trying to set on every fish because it's practice, just trying to locate them. And Travis, like, I think you said, "Oh, what the heck? Go ahead." And this big fish rolls, and I'm like, "Oh no!" So anyway, that happened.
Let me.
I mean, I think my first 5 pitches with you, I caught 3 bass. Nothing crazy, but man, they were biting.
True.
Very true. It was at will. It's nuts. You were on some fish, man.
Yeah. Let me try to find it here. Oh, here's a good one I caught. So, and I didn't want to set the hook, but I set the hook on every new spot. Like I was on them. I was on them pretty good, guys. I was excited for this event.
Damn it. I didn't mean to set the hook. I just did. Out of here. It's a new deal. It's a new deal, bro.
You got to know.
It's a new spot. I didn't know.
You got to sample
But
one.
I'm really excited for what I have discovered this afternoon.
Yeah, whatever, dude. You're gonna suck at this event. There's the boys.
JP.
Bites.
A lot of bites.
Yep.
Gary, you got in the rhythm.
Yeah.
You're learning tidal water.
Yes, sir.
You're getting into it. Look at this. We got all these. We got the butcher block here. We're trying to figure out what the secret bait's gonna be.
We got a variety, as
Yeah,
you can see.
we got big wiener, big brats, whatever they are. JP's venison, right? JP's venison.
Homemade for our pleasure.
Yes, for our. It was delicious. I would eat your wieners all.
All right, so here we are.
It's pushing hard, man.
We saw that. Then we finally get back there.
As high as you can in the air, land straight on that log.
I'm
What's
supervising.
your idea?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you said you had one.
I do and I don't.
He does and he doesn't have an idea.
I'm saying
Bring your
crank
poles are
that
down.
motor up and just jump it.
Okay. Be a good thing. Why can't the big motor slide us over that?
It can.
You're worried about getting back out. Well, you'll have plenty of water to get back out.
We don't know that.
You can just power over with the big motor coming back. You did enough clearing. It's a log.
I was all
I'm
nervous.
pretty sure we can get in. I hope we can get out, dude.
You worked hard.
Right.
That's some old man river stuff right there.
So we finally
Quarter
made it
combo.
about this far.
I gotta say I made the right call.
Oh man.
Come on. That's what the big motor's for, bro. Push over them logs.
There was one more way in,
Fine.
but it had a steel fence on it.
It's
you
metal,
believe
dude.
that?
What in the hell? Who builds that structure?
The Mayans.
The thing's open.
The Mayans.
Got it U-bolted. Who actually does that?
We're talking about power tools,
We were trying to figure out how to get in this thing.
grinder, bringing a
I'm
weapon.
like, I got to take a piss. You figure this out.
Yeah, you
When I
do.
come back, you better figure out a plan.
And you gotta climb on it and see if you can, like, you can get close enough to see if those things are rusted. Which way does it swing? I gotta study that. So, no, I'm
That's what we're
making
trying
my
to figure
study.
out what opens.
So see how this part right here, right? This little, see how it's wedged in?
Yeah, Jamie
See
Newton's
how it's
got a chance.
U-bolted?
Special password.
U-bolted. So that has to come off. That has to come off. That has to come off. And that has to
Lost
that
him.
has to lift out. Does that
But
make sense?
the
You
fan is
still
back.
have- and then that swings open. That's extraordinary. Who does that?
Travis goes, I know what I'll do. I'll just cast one here.
Maybe Big Mom's just sitting in there.
That's awesome.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell?
I don't know. I really like it, dude.
Yep.
Open sesame.
So we couldn't really do much in there.
You could have just got a run and start, lit the boat on fire, and crashed through it.
Mm-hmm.
That would work.
That would make for spectacular film.
Eric's just jacking on all the fish.
I had to leave it in there for a little bit to get that fish to bite it. Damn.
Jeez, stop it.
It's like 5 pitches, 3 bass. That's crazy. What is it, 14-inch? 12. Everybody's getting the limit with that.
It just felt like a better.
It's hard to know.
When I thought out there, full harder. You just, I mean, honestly, you can't. No. You know.
Looks like we're fishing Ichabod cranes.
There you go, setting the hook again, you prick.
Pull up.
I'm
At
sorry.
least I let mine go.
Sorry.
I pulled up and I hooked him.
I pulled up and I hooked him. Sorry.
It's a double. Hit it. Okay, 15 to throw. What is it? A good one? Potterly dickweeds.
Double.
We're winning practice.
We're winning practice like crazy.
Yeah, I think that one in the birdie.
We win.
So notice how
Travis, how many of those
Yeah,
fish would have
so
helped
look
you
at
on the
this tail.
second
What's that?
day?
Yeah,
This
I
one,
know,
that's-
dude. Don't even
yeah.
start.
I mean,
I never
fish is
fished this
making
area. I never got here.
mess.
There was a boat in this spot the whole time.
We might as well just rip their lips.
I never got back there.
Birds talking.
Big time.
So much for not scratching the trolling motor.
Yeah, this place took its toll on the boat.
Lord.
We were power shotting, dudes. Power shotting.
Yep. I got a feeling.
Get him?
At one point, it was like a
meaty one.
pretty crazy.
He's so skinny.
So here's the next clip is
Catterwagon fish. Oh,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The old chatterbait.
that was almost our second double of the day.
I think that
We're a
qualifies.
good team, Travis. Ain't nothing to write home about.
uh-huh. That's awesome. Dad picked it.
all right. Where's that clip?
Is that it?
I don't know. Let me look.
No, I know I didn't skip it. What are you doing? Oh. That's not the one.
No, we're actually not setting the hook on every fish. I'm just kind of showing you highlights of the day. We had a lot of bites. I was a little concerned because it seemed like every fish we set the hook on was like 1.5 pounds right here, except for this one. I go, give it to him.
Yep. Yeah, give it to him.
Oh.
I told him to set the hook. I told him to set the hook.
You did.
I said, give it to
I
him.
know you did. I was trying not to.
Look at that! Look at get that fish.
Nice. Thanks for sticking that bass.
Yeah, I was trying to let him run and maybe ease him, but you said give it to him. Yeah.
We went back.
Oh, God.
Oh, we're on to a pattern.
Onto a pattern. I don't know that you want to talk about that pattern.
We talk about after this.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay, we'll talk about it after.
What could it be? Cypress Hill or a dock?
Nah, I don't know.
Well, the first 2 days of practice have gone pretty well for me. I want to thank Epic Eric for hanging out with me on the day 2. We still got a lot of days of practice. There you go. So that was a little highlight clip
That's pretty darn good there.
of the James.
So, Travis, do you think that you're completely out in your mind? Are you completely out of the Elite Series race, even if
Yeah.
you top
Yeah.
5 the next 2? You think you're out of it?
Absolutely. Which is fine because we got the Legendary Lakes Tour 2022.
Yes. I mean, I think that footage from the St. Lawrence is legendary lakes plus a river tour.
True.
You gotta
Yeah.
legendary lakes and waters,
Mm.
rivers. Good stuff, man. Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
So Eric, I saw you had a little team event this weekend. You want to talk about that at all? Sound like you didn't have the best second day either, but you were up there the first day. What went wrong?
Let's see, man. Scooter worked extremely hard. 2 days of practice. We were onto a pattern. Didn't really, shook everything off. Day 1 and day 2, and so things are going pretty good. 9:30 limit on day 1. We're kind of doing a 2-pronged approach. He's fishing super power, and I'm trying to finesse around the edges, if you will. And so I make a skip trying to stay outside the cover. And I thought to myself in my mind, I should probably pull that back because if I get a bite, it's over. And the fish started walking away with my bait. And, I lean into him because he's walking out of the cover. Right. So I'm good. And I let him walk out of the cover. I didn't set the hook too early. And the bait that I'm skipping is it's no secret, it's a stick bait. And I did catch a fish in practice, actually one on Will's Gajo 6-inch stick bait, Gajo stick. Anyway, so I'm skipping a stick bait and the fish is walking out and I'm good. But what I didn't see was there was an extended limb like 5 feet away from the cover. I think I'm good. And I'm fighting the fish, and that fish gets around that limb, and underneath the limb are some rocks and bulldogs me down and breaks me off. I mean, it's and then later I heavy up. I'm throwing a spinning rod. I'm throwing 15-pound shooter. Scooter made me heavy up, and that's the best advice. I think something I've learned, and Travis, I love to finesse fish. Travis has taught me a lot about finesse fishing, but I've been a finesse guy with a spinning rod, 8-pound test. That probably cost me when I got back into bass fishing, Angler of the Year in my club, my first year back. I came in 3rd place or 2nd place to Ed Riley. But I broke a lot of key fish off on the Potomac with 8-pound test. I think I got more bites, but I didn't get fish in the boat. So my strike to catch ratio was low. But I could have walked away with several tournaments if I had heavied up. But would I have gotten the bites? That's what I'm working through in my mind. Anyway, so he got me to heavy up. I'm feeling comfortable. 15-pound braid to 15-pound fluoro leader. And I'm skipping a bait. I am nowhere near cover. I get the fish on. We see the fish. He takes a mad run, like right in front of the boat, 15 feet from the boat. And it's a 5 or a 6. And literally just pulls off. And I don't know what to say. So we weigh in 15.98, day 1. If I land those 2 or one of those 2, we probably have a 3 or 4 pound lead because we weighed in 2 dinks. And day 2, we stuck with the program, but our pattern for big fish evaporated. He mixed it up too, man. We went deep to shallow, schooling fish, just multiple patterns to try to get a big bite, and it just never occurred. So day 2 was a fall from grace, man. We were 8 to 10 ounces out of the lead on day 1. Anybody's ball game. So, I have to take I got to take the hit on this. He put us around big fish. He put us on the fish to win for sure. Day 2, what are you going to say? There were 500 boats on the water probably day 1. There was our tournament had 200. There was an E70, and there was a Bojangles, which we won their classic last year and Anglers of the Year last year. But there was a conflict, so we elected to fish the 2-day cat championship, which we qualified for. We would like to fish the other one as well.
Yeah.
And, so that put another, 150 boats on the water in several club tournaments, 500 boats. Literally everywhere you went, there was a boat on a point, a secondary point, along the bank, in every pocket. So those fish got uber pressured. And I think it was day 2, the people who adjusted maybe did all right or did something off the wall. I don't know. Those Kerr's not my water. It's Scooter's. So I'm relying on Scooter, and he put us on the fish to win for sure. We just didn't get the big bites. We didn't miss anything. Fished perfectly clean.
Wow.
Day 2. Perfectly clean. Day 1, that's on me. You gotta fish clean to win or finish high. And I land those 2 and we're right up there, because there was not a lot separating the teams. It was like multiple. There was one 16-pound bag day 1. We were 15.98. It was like 16.66 or something like that. And then there was, a couple 15-pound bags and lots of 14s, lots of 13s, lots of 12s, lots of 11s. It was like 1st to 58th was, I think they had 12.98. If that's telling you anything, almost 13 pounds. So 3 pounds, almost 60 places. Isn't that wild?
Wow. Yeah.
All right. So that's my story, man.
Couple questions in the comments here about that last video on the James. Eric, we were drop shotting, power shotting, and let's talk about that setup, because
sure,
I knew about that technique. I've dabbled in it. I maybe caught a handful of fish in the past prior to about 2 years ago when we went up on the Chesapeake.
Yeah.
Back in the fall, and you started catching them real good on it.
Yep.
And sort of opened my eyes.
Yep.
It's now part of my arsenal. This isn't a bait. Earlier in the show, I mentioned every year I like to I find 1 or 2 baits that I am obsessed with and start catching fish and have confidence in. This is one of them, but it wasn't the other 2 I'm talking about. So this is actually another bait that's part of my arsenal now. All week long on the James, I was fishing the Baby Destroyer by Missile Baits. And
that was the one that you used the day I was catching them. You put it on a spinning rod.
Yes, I am. And now I Texas rig this. I do a lot with this bait.
Yep. And
it has taken its place over the brush hog for me.
Baby brush hog.
The Baby brush hog. I caught that kicker fish on Chickamauga on the last day, flipping 2 laydowns on the main river. Like the last half hour, I flipped this little deal and got bit. And now I'm obsessed. And in my mind, yes, I have green pumpkin. I have that watermelon party or grass, sprayed grass color.
Yeah.
But the super bug, dude, I don't know if you can have a better color.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Okeechobee Craw, because it's a mixture of green pumpkin and black and blue.
Sure.
Tremendous, man.
Listen, I am obsessed with this. And Eric and I were talking on the way back from the St. Lawrence River last week. We were like, if you were sponsored by one company and you had to use their plastics, who would it be? And I think we both kind of decided Missile Baits.
Missile Baits.
They have everything you need. Of course, I could never do that, right? I'm a big fan of Z-Man. I like the Berkeley Power Worm. I mean, you can't just confine yourself like that. But if you had to, I think I could get through the year doing it.
Why don't we get John Cruz on for a show?
I think we should.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to John. I hired him way back in the day on Smith Mountain for a bass class. I really, really enjoyed my day with John, and I've stayed in touch with him. And, even though he runs a big bait company and fishes on tour, anytime I've ever reached out to him, he's been responsive. I talked about when I fished the chick in my semi-national, and I was, right up there in the hunt. After day 1, my engine blew up, and then should have had 20 pounds running on a trolling motor. I called him to talk about a chatterbait fish that I lost, and I didn't understand how it could happen. And we talked through it, and he's like, sometimes, dude, they just get that thing sideways. And, so it was really cool, man, to actually call somebody like him that has a ton more experience than I do and talk through what might have happened. And he's just a great guy, man. I've always seen him at the shows when they used to have him, and he would spend time talking about, different techniques and things, and just introduced me to his baits and what he liked. And the heck of a bait, man. No doubt.
It is. So our setup was pretty, for myself, I'll walk you through mine. So I was using the new, well, not new, but the St. Croix Legend Elite rod. And I believe it was 7.4. I'll put the details in the actual video, but It was the perfect rod. I used 16-pound Gamma Edge. I stepped up my line size this year. That's one thing I said I was gonna do. I wasn't gonna break off fish like Eric does with me in tournaments. That wasn't gonna happen.
Like Eric does with you, with Scooter.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm gonna say about that is, man, that light line has put some cash in the boat.
Yes, in
and
clear
it got
water.
the bites.
In
And
clear water.
I don't know. I still look, man.
No.
I'm in a
No.
quandary, man.
Dude,
I'm
the
like,
fish don't care about line size.
That's bullshit. It's
No,
not that.
I'll fight you all day. It's
fight
how the
you,
bait
man.
falls. I
You've
get
been
that.
doing good so far, man.
Oh,
Don't get me started. Listen, listen. I'm gonna just say this. You're right. They don't care, but
The bait,
lighter line
yes,
gives the bait more action.
agree.
And I'm
Agreed.
saying when they're super active, they don't care.
Well-
But when they're not, they do.
I used to use 12-pound line for my chatterbaits on the Chesapeake,
That's really light.
and it worked. I used 12 for my swim jigs, not slowly working the swim jig through grass, but
Gamma.
no, it was Bass Pro Shops. That's what I used in the past.
Okay.
This year, I switched basically all of my finesse plastics on my bait casters to my, I guess, reaction baits like a swim jig or a chatterbait. I went with 16-pound Gamma.
That's
and-
like 20-pound anything else.
Right. Or 14. 14 or 16.
14's like 16 or 17.
If I'm throwing a jig, I will go up to like 20, but I think I can get away with 16 even on the Gamma. But that Gamma Edge is pretty ridiculous. I still utilize the Bass Pro Shops 100% fluoro for my drop shot and Ned rigs and stuff like that, for my leaders on my spinning rods.
Yeah.
But I stepped that up. I've been 12 and even 14. So
Yeah.
on the James, it was 14 on my Neds.
Yeah. Did
Because
you
of all the
notice that
crap.
difference in your bites? They don't title fish or
I did not, and because the water was a little dirtier.
Sure.
I think I'm, and I've been guiding on the Chesapeake now for quite a few days in a row, and that's what we've been using, and we've been getting bites with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, while we got a second here, Travis, I want to go back to that baby destroyer. So I know on the brush hog, there's a upside down way to rig it and a correct way to rig it to where you want it to open up as it runs over your finger. Is that the same on the destroyer, or is that not the case?
Well, so in
Do it.
nature,
Do it.
in nature, for the most part, it's not the case. In nature, for the most part, bait fish and fish in general are lighter on the bottom and darker on the back. So I would put the black for the super bug. It's green pumpkin and kind of a black and blue, right? Darker. So, I mean, that's what I would do. But honestly, I don't think it matters too much.
Okay.
But that's how I would rig it. We should talk about.
I
So I
love
was
bait, man. I love a laminated bait.
So I was using a kind of a Bell tungsten weight, teardrop weight with the line tie that you could actually tie it. So I didn't lose a whole lot of tungsten because it wasn't clipped in, it wasn't cinched, it was tied directly. I
It's
forgot
like
the company.
Like the free rig.
I forgot the company it was. But I was using that, and then we used the Gamakatsu G-Lock 3-aught hook for that baby destroyer, and it's the perfect hook. I was nervous because prior to the James, I didn't have a whole lot of confidence in the 3-aught paired up with this baby destroyer because I haven't fished it much, and boy, it hooks them good.
Dude, that tipped up. I turned you on to that G-Lock because that's what I use when I
Mhm.
power shot it with you in that first video. You can step it up to the 4, if you're fishing heavier cover, even the 5 if you're fishing really heavy cover and you want a lot of hooking power.
With a bigger
Or
bait.
bigger bait, of course. But that tipped up point, that G-Lock doesn't have a straight inline point. It's just slightly tipped up. So it really jabs them in the roof of the mouth, man. It's got a lot of power and it's stout.
Mhm.
It's a great hook, man. I was using similar quarter rounds for me. Swagger tungsten, black. I don't think it matters. If I'm in practice, I'll throw a lead drop shot versus tungsten. I don't know, Travis. Do you think when you're on rock and you're using a tungsten drop shot or any type of a tungsten head, you get a little bit more benefit for that clicking sound that it might produce?
You get a little more benefit, but you also get a little more hang-ups.
Feel? Interesting.
You
It's
do.
harder.
But I go back and forth, like in
Because
an
lead
actual.
will go in rock and then like kind of be able to ease itself out. When tungsten goes in, it's so hard it's wedged, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm a master of getting baits unstuck.
You really
Like if you had to say what is your biggest what's your biggest strength when it comes to fishing?
If I was interviewing you for a job,
it's getting
Travis,
baits
tell me
unstuck.
about yourself.
I can get baits unstuck, bro. Anywhere.
That's it. That's impressive. Now, how is
I
that?
love it.
That's awesome. No, you do, man. You're good at it.
And I enjoy it.
You enjoy the challenge.
Yes.
I love
So listen, okay, so we
you
talked
a
about
lot
that.
of practice with clients. You got to admit.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right. So can you share any of the getting baits unstuck secrets with the folks?
No, because people ask me in the boat when I'm guiding, and I'm like, I can't explain it. You gotta have a feel for it.
Practice
I don't know.
makes perfect.
I don't know. Braid helps.
Does
Braid
it?
helps. Yeah. Yeah.
Just because you can pull it out, or
I could snap it real quick.
real?
And
Okay.
listen, and it's mostly rock.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, Travis, there's a question that came in earlier wondering what it's from Brad Palm. He wants to know what are the upcoming tournaments you're fishing on the bay. I know the Ike Foundation's coming up. Are there any other big events going on up there?
Yeah, pretty much every weekend. There's the
Hey,
Ike
we're
one.
in, dude. We're in, dude. I registered.
Okay, cool.
It's on, man.
I think that's it in the near future.
Okay.
We
got a decision to make. Should we fish the Friday Legends or no?
I need a day off. I'm guiding all that week, dude.
Yeah, true, man. We'll leave those fish alone. No, we won't win practice this
So
year.
let me walk you through the BFL real quick. Okay, so or whatever it's called, MLF. The Big Five, is that what they call it?
I don't know. What do they call it?
So here we are.
I'm confused.
It's high tide in the morning. First of all, I wasn't going to fish the BFL.
Yeah.
I guided all week. We caught fish. I was anywhere from the Sassafras to the Susquehanna to the Northeast. I was everywhere.
You were zombied too, man.
And I was tired. Yeah, we got back at 1 a.m. from fishing with Roland Martin. And I had a guide trip at 6, and I have to get up at 4.
Dude, I drove home after that, but I did get the nap in the car. Travis, literally, this is what was on the dash. There was a coffee, an energy drink, maybe 2 energy drinks, and then the candy bars started. There was all right, let me think about it. 2 Heath bars, an Almond Joy, and the Almond Joy and Heath bar has to be eaten in combination.
I like to eat them together. And then you stole one of my Heath bars. I got to get another drink. I'm so frustrated.
You told me that if I answered this question, I could have any candy bar I wanted. And I answered the question correctly. I won the candy bar. Then I ate the Heath, which was way too sweet for me, man. Oh, my God. It was like pure sugar. I wish I picked something else. He had 2 mini cheesecakes, a cherry pie. God, what else was there, man?
I thought he was keto. What happened to that?
He fell off the wagon. That was after two fillet of fish sandwiches, a cheeseburger, large fry, and a Coke or something like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, Travis, that was after the McDonald's meal. Two fillet of fish, cheeseburger, fries. You got a soda, Dr. Pepper. That was it. You had the mini cheesecakes, the cherry pie, the 2 Heath bars, the Almond Joy, the energy drinks. And at some point, I remember waking up and he's driving along the highway and he makes this, "Oh, Carol!" He just makes this bird noise. And I'm like, what? I was like in a fog. I woke up and I'm like, he looked at me with like these wild sugar eyes and he just started like chirping or something. He made this crazy sound. He goes, "We're almost home, dude." And I'm like, cool. And it was wild, man. He was keyed up. So that's the secret to how Manson drives through the night.
Yeah, twice a month, I will get off the keto and get on the fish fillet hard.
You love yourself a fish fillet. I must say, man, that is a great sandwich.
Yeah, so my typical order is going to be a fish fillet meal, large, Dr. Pepper, cheeseburger, 6-piece nuggets with honey mustard, 2 apple pies, a large shake.
Yeah, that's what you had before all the candy and energy drinks.
And then when we get to Syracuse, we always stop in Brewerton there at the convenience store right by Oneida Lake, and that's where I I get the monster and everything else I need for the rest of the ride home.
Did I miss any candy bars with the Heath, the Almond Joy, the cherry pie, the cheesecake? There's something
2
else.
cheesecakes.
There were 2 cheesecakes. There was something else.
Bubble gum.
Bubble gum. That's right. You go through a whole pack of Bubblicious. 3 or 4. He might even do a whole pack at the same time.
All right, before we get to the BFL, I do want to share with you guys, we do have 2 prizes tonight. Here's how it's going to go. Anyone that does a donation through the Super Chat, via Super Chat, you're entered. Alex is going to tally it up and pick a winner. Here's the cool thing. So I have a Monster Bass bag to give away, 2 Smallmouth Crush buffs.
Nice.
And Will's going to kill me for this. I snagged a couple.
You weren't supposed to take those.
I know. I snagged a couple secret colors, and I put them in a bag for one lucky person.
You had the whole 5-gallon bag, and he made you put them back.
I know. And
the child, he totally scolded you, man.
I know. And I'm not going to talk about the color. I'm not even. It's here. So if you guys. Anyone who does a super chat, any donation, I don't care if it's $1, you're entered, and for the prize pack here, and just keep those gajos under, low key.
But catch a bunch of smallmouth on them.
Yes.
Gajo. Speaking of gajo, boom, baby.
Nice.
Gajo.
Jeff's in.
Awesome. Get a little banner going up here.
Speaking of donations,
Travis is stealing from Native Americans, just to be clear.
Speaking of
Hold on, that's pretty funny.
Hey, Travis, man.
Yes.
You finally got square with me, man. You came through on your promise. You sent me a nice box. I got my tube heads, Alex. I got my Get Bid tubes. I got a bunch of buffs. I got, what else? Oh, my gosh. I got a bunch of the Berkeley Max scent stuff that he bought at Fresh Fields or whatever that farm. Or Fresh Farm Fields. So, Travis, thank you.
You're welcome.
So
I gotta say thank you as well. Yeah.
Thanks for driving through the night to New York to get us there to fish with Roland Martin. I mean, Travis, you almost didn't go.
Yeah.
So I'm like beat tired after Smith Mountain Lake practicing, standing up on a boat. I mean, it was a bed fishing tournament. We looked for bed fish for 2 straight days. My eyeballs were out of my head. Fished hard for 2 straight days. Got in my car, call up Travis. I go, dude, I think I'm going to drive as far as I can, get a hotel, then drive to New York because Will wanted me to stay an extra day to shoot some promotional videos. And I get a text from Travis, and Travis goes, dude, I don't think I'm going. I wasn't planning on driving up there alone to Will's. And I'm like, what? And so I call up Will, and I'm like, we got an issue. Travis is bailing. So Will was about to call Travis and like ignite him. And I go, Will, let me talk to Travis. So I go, Travis, look, I don't care. What do you want me to do? I really don't want to drive alone either. But I told Will I'd stay for a day or 2 extra. And we worked it out. So Travis, I ended up driving straight to Travis's like 7.5 hours. Got there at 1:30, maybe got a couple hours of sleep, and then fished all day with Roland Martin. How about that, man? It was worth it.
It was worth it. But the ride back was terrible. And
Correct.
so 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm heading down to Chesapeake Bay. Then I got energized as I'm launching the boat.
Yeah.
We found some fish, and then another guy trip, and then it's Friday.
You're zombie.
So now it's Friday, and I'm like, I text John Henning because he's kind of got the in, as far as MLF and BFLs and stuff. I go, when can I get in? He goes, you got to register by 4. So I get back at the dock at 2:30, and I'm like, do I really want to fish Saturday? I'm like, just do it. This is what you do. So I signed up. I took the boat home that night to get prepared, right? So I spent all night getting everything fresh and ready and really didn't have a game plan. Knew kind of what I was going to do. So on Wednesday's guide trip, I found a fish on a bed And it was a younger guy. He was younger kid, and it was his first bed fish, and he was able to catch it, and it was only about maybe 3.5, 3 3/4. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I put a stick on the bed, right?
That was a good idea, man.
Just in case. So then we go out and we find another fish on the bed. This one was big, right? And 45 minutes later, he catches that fish. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. Another sight fish. So I get to the tournament, and my plan is it's high tide. I'm going to go run and grab that sight fish. I'm going to start there, right? So I get there, and I'm a little worried. I don't have much time because I got to get in and get out type of deal, okay? I fished some productive spots where they normally spawn. I didn't get a bite. 10 minutes in now, finally another boat rolls up. They see me that I'm fishing this area, and they realize they can't get in there because I'm in there. So they start kind of fishing on the outside, casting into where I'm fishing, and they jack like a 4-pounder. And now, so there's like this barrier thing, and he's bringing it over the barrier thing and in the boat. And I don't know who he is, but I'm screaming for him because that's the coolest thing I've ever seen, and I always wanted to do it myself.
Nice.
I go, yeah, that's how you catch a fish. You know, I'm just like pissed and happy at the same time and yelling at him, right?
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
Anyways, turns out it was Pete Glusick, but I didn't know this at the time. And so I line up on the twig. I cast my net into it, and it hits and gets off. Or, you know, I never got the hook, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
The fish is still there. I pitch back in, set the hook this time. I got him 3.5, right? So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. I'm like, we got to go, co-angler. So I'm like, pack your shit, let's go. As I'm coming out, Pete goes, is that you, Travis? I go, yeah, what's up, Holmes? You know what I mean? And Pete's motor.
You're supposed to go, yeah, what's up, Dean? He's not a Holmes. Pete Glusick is the Dean.
Anyways, his motor is sitting right on the bedfish. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, God, I know he doesn't know it's there. It's high tide. It's dirty water.
Right.
I'm good. I came out. I go, have a good day, guys. Good luck. And I left. So I went to some hardcover spots that I haven't really fished much this year, but I just have some history there. And there was 2 boats in there. And of course, they don't do it like I would do it, right? And so I already know this. I'm like, we're good. So I go do what I do best, right? Because that's who, in my mind, that's who I am when it comes to my strength when it comes to fishing the Chesapeake is that kind of stuff.
And getting snags out.
Yes. Anyways, I went to work immediately with one of the secret baits that my buddy showed me. And I don't think you know about it, Eric. We'll talk after the show.
I bet I do.
I don't know. Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Anyways. So
I've shown you a few secrets.
So I'm rolling down. I pop my limit right in front of behind this boat, and and then he leaves, and now I got free range. Dirty Steve, by the way, is messaging me. These people. Doesn't he know I'm live? Good buddy he is. Hey, you got the hookup for Mega Bass 110s? Dirty Steve, first of all, you're a walleye fisherman. Second of all, no, you tard. Okay, so listen. Don't shake your head. So I'm going down the marina. I'm flipping in, and then boom. So I catch like a 3 3/4. So now I got a solid bait. I'm at like 15.5, 16 pounds. Life is good. And the guide trip I had on Friday, I went out in the grass and I found a little deal, and we didn't catch any big ones, but we got multiple bites. So it was 9:30, and I go to my I said, we got to go out in the grass. Well, little did I know I went out a little too early. So I get to my spot. Nobody's on it. All the boats are 100 yards away from me. Nobody's there.
Nice.
I start finessing. I ain't moving the boat. I'm fishing. I know they're here. It's just tide's wrong. And I'm thinking, man, I left too soon. I was worried there'd be boats on it. I'm like, this was a mistake today. I finally get a bite, 45 minutes into it. It's a little one. And then you can see all 80 boats out there, right?
It's crazy, man.
It's dead calm.
It's the fleet. It's the fleet.
It's dead calm. And I'm like, you can see when someone's fighting a fish and netting a fish.
But don't you think I like that kind of deal personally? Because in a way, if there's a lot of bigger fish and you know you're in an area that has bigger fish, but you're competing with other boats, it's who's got the tactic or technique that's going to trigger the bite.
Yeah.
Anyway,
well,
go ahead.
Yeah, I was feeling good about it because I knew nobody was catching them.
Yeah.
There was 0 fish caught for an hour.
Yep.
And I finally got a bite, and it was a good one. So I called out. And then I'm like, all right, this makes sense. They're going to start biting. You look across, and guys are catching here and there, starting to get some bites.
So you got a bite window happening.
Got a bite window. The tide's halfway out, right?
All right.
I'll pick up another bait. I chuck it out there and dunk, and that's another big mama.
I love it, man.
Damn. All right, cool. Still not a lot of bites. Now it's like 11:30. Anyways, I catch a couple more big ones, and I get emotional out there. When I caught the last big one and called out and realized my smallest was 3, but the others were all like 4. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're working on a 20-pound bag.
I'm like, I'm almost close to 20. I'm like, I need one more big bite, or I go to my I need to go grab that sight fish and see what's up. I think I have a top 5 right now. Based on everyone else out here not catching shit, I think we got a shot. And then I got another bite. And so now you got to realize it's getting close. You know, I got about an hour and a half left. And I get excited at that point, right? When you get that bite, because bites are far and few between. I set the hook. I'm reeling them. Co-angler was a great guy, okay? He was right there with the net. But somewhere in my mind, it clicked that I need to swing this fish in instead of letting them come to the net.
What?
Who does that?
What the hell?
I know, dude.
What kind of crazy
emotion
came over? What?
I can't explain it.
Did you have a bait caster in your hand?
Yes,
okay.
I did. And it was right there, and then the net was in the water. So the fish is now by the trolling motor, and I start to swing, and he gets off.
My God, man.
Then I yell out the
F-word.
spookiest hoot you've ever heard.
Dude, what?
I don't know.
It's the fillet of fish thinking.
Did he net the other fish for you? And he netted them all fine? He wasn't a stabber or a swiper?
No.
He just would put the net in the water and let you lead the fish in once it's ready to come in?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you decide you gotta flip him?
I thought I had to flip him, bro.
For the epic film win and celebration?
I think that's what it was. It was really for the celebration to seal the win. I know.
And instead,
he got off.
You got the second biggest loser check.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Is that a lesson?
Yeah, because don't ever flip a fish in.
Man.
Anyways. So, by the way, co-angler 0.
Ouch.
You're proud of that most days.
No, I'm not proud.
Yes, you are, man. Listen, I always talk to Travis. You got to be honest and be real, man. You got to be real. I want you to be real.
Okay.
Be authentic.
When I fish, make sure my boat. What?
Time out. There's no shame in your game.
I don't want my co-angler to catch fish when I'm fishing in an area because I would like to catch those fish, and I don't think that's a wrong attitude. I want him to enjoy his time. I want him to fight for his bites and do it. Okay, I'm happy when he catches a fish. I'm not pissed off, but I'm not going to allow him to have an opportunity to catch a fish. I'm not going to allow him to catch.
You're lying. You're never happy for to catch a fish. Half the time I talk to you when you're coming back from a tournament, you go, "How'd your code do?" And he goes, I don't know. What was his name? I don't remember. You don't care. Stop it. Stop it.
Well, I will say, in Travis's defense, in that Chickamauga video, it sounded like he gave your co-angler on the first day a Ned rig or something. You gave him some tips. So
yeah, I give people baits all the time.
Yeah.
I told my guy, Eric.
Did you really
Eric,
do? It sounds like you don't.
dude,
so
yes.
Maybe you play it different than like when I talk to you, act like that. But
Because here's how it is, Eric. I'm going to be honest with you. When I'm fishing, I'm going to position my boat so he has the worst advantage.
Of course.
Okay, that's just what you do when you're competing.
Of course.
So if he catches a fish, good. Do I care what he's doing? Do I want to have a conversation with him when I'm out there and I'm tense and trying to catch fish? No.
Fair enough.
But
that's not a critique on you.
But
I'm
he
only
would ask
commenting
me
on what you tell me when I call you.
Jim's like kind of like his clients. Come on, Jim. I had Jim out in the boat this week with me anyways.
Oh, that's funny.
And
that's really funny, Jim. Jim,
no,
for that laugh.
Jim, come on, take that back, Broheen.
I think it's there.
So here's the deal. I said to him, I have everything you need, dude. Because at one point he goes, what do you think I should be doing here? I can't seem to get a bite. And I said, well, it looks like you have the right bait on. I go, if
what
you
was
want
he throwing? Just tell the audience.
A Senko.
Okay, gotcha.
I think at some point. I said, I got one of these things. If you want it, take it. Here they are. I got everything you need, bro. I said, tie it on. So I told him to do it.
What did he say?
I don't know. He said he'd make it work,
He'd make the thing work.
Yeah, I said that no doubt you should be able to,
Yeah.
What
do you think his problem was? I know you probably didn't look back and watch him fish at any point, but if you had to guess, it's not like you got 10 bites. It sounded like from the story you just said, you only got like 3 bites on the flat.
4.
I mean, that's
4 big ones. I caught 3 or 4 small ones.
So you got
that didn't help.
You got 7 bites or 8 bites?
7 or 8 bites on the flats.
So, and he got 0 bites on the flats. So what do you think he was doing differently than you? Were you dead sticking? Skip the bait part. Do you think it was all about the bait, or the bait plus the way you fish the bait?
The way you work a worm back to the boat.
Fair enough. Okay. So it was his technique that was probably holding him back, specifically during the spawn, to be able to trigger a fish to bite.
Yeah. So in the marina, obviously he's going to have a hard time.
Really hard time, because you're doing what you should do. You're supposed to position the boat. But I mean, honestly, the back of the boat's going to be close to a piling at some point, right? I don't care what you do. I'm getting to a
he
piling.
Felt as if the fish, what he should have done is he should have been making casts away from the boat noise and the power poles and the banging and clicking, and make casts out on the far posts and the different things like that. And I didn't see him doing that enough. What he was trying to do is fish used water. That was the problem there.
Interesting.
But no, that comment, Eric, about the co-anglers is I don't mind when they catch fish. I'm not mad at them. But I'm not going to lie. I've said this before. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to cover that area as fast and effectively as I can.
Yeah, those are your fish. You found
so
them.
I can get my bait. Yeah, so I can hopefully get a bite. One of the things I had a co-angler here's another quick thing I just want to talk about. And let me know in the comments here. The James River event. So we're fishing for an Elite Series berth and potentially a Bassmaster Classic. Some pros were not paired with boaters.
Wow. You mean co-anglers?
The pro did not have a co-angler.
You said boater.
Yeah. The pros did not have a
pros didn't have a co-angler. Some pros, stop it.
Some pros didn't have co-anglers.
There you go. Yes.
There you go. You forgot.
Do you understand how much
so crazy
unfair that is? And I was kind of upset. Quite a few.
How many?
I don't know the number, but enough to be like, whoa. Because first of all, and I see that, I had an aggressive pro one of those, or co-angler one of those days, where I was doing that cypress tree deal, and he would
Sure.
decide to cast a little bit in front of the boat
Yeah.
towards maybe the next cypress. And I could tell already that I was like, damn, this guy's going to be aggressive today, which caused me to fish super fast, so I could get over there next. And it messed with my head. And those guys without a co-angler didn't have that pressure. And I don't think that's fair when you have so much on the line and you're paying $1,900 in an entry fee. I think that's crap. And I'm actually pretty upset about that.
So you're going to not fish MLF again?
That was BASS, and I'm fishing the rest of the two, but I don't think it's right.
No, man. That honestly, there's no other sport where the playing field shifts so dramatically. Meaning, I don't know another sport where an athlete, whether it's a pro or a budding pro, or even at the higher level of the amateur level, the field of play can be interfered with by an advantage to a boater having no non-boater, and or other tournaments or recreational anglers getting to an area where you found fish. It's crazy, man. It makes it such a difficult sport. Mechanical failures. I mean, if you watched my Instagram story, Scooter's handle on the Ghost broke. So, couldn't pull up the trolling motor, had to stop. He figured out a MacGyver solution.
Where did it break? In the inside?
Inside the handle.
Yeah.
Like,
damn it. I need to figure that out. I need to look at that.
So
that's my biggest fear.
Yeah. One of his clients, he had him on the front of the boat, and he went to get a snag out, and he hit a stump, broke an ear off. So Scooter's trying to figure out the prop situation. He actually got a Minn Kota prop on the Ghost to work. And then the handle breaks on the Ghost. It's a great trolling motor, by the way.
Well, first of all, Scooter should have a spare Ghost prop in your boat. That's mandatory.
Dude, he ordered it, but there were none available when he got the boat delivered. Isn't that incredible? He's got 4 on order. So geez, man. I mean, it's brand new. The boat's like weeks old. That handle should not be breaking. Granted, Scooter's probably pulled that trolling motor up 1,000 times. I mean, during our tournament and practice, he probably pulled it up 300 times, maybe more.
Yeah.
I never have ever fished with anybody that covers as much water as fast as he does. He's incredible. And that's probably why he's won so much. He's going to find that active fish and that active bite. 2 ways to approach fishing, right? Slow and methodical, or cover a ton of water. That's why they call him Scooter anyway. So there you go. But he MacGyvered like a rusty pair of pliers. He clamped it down on the cord. Then he electrical taped it. And that was our handle for the rest of the day. It wasn't super comfortable, but it worked.
Man.
But that's part of it, man. Bass fishing is one of the toughest sports.
Yeah.
The field of play just changed.
Yeah, when I saw that, I was really disappointed in Bass for allowing that. That should not have had happened, because like I said, I was pushed really aggressively by one of my co's. Listen, and here's how I looked at it. I said to myself, if that was me in the back of the boat, Travis, would you be doing that? Yes. Okay. I would. Right? So I didn't say nothing to him, because it's what he should be doing. You have 2 different types of co's. You have a respectable co that really wants you to, that's a cheerleader, right? Then you have a co that's out to like do some damage in this tournament. And they'll take those shots and find those little situations where they can slip a bait in to give them that upper hand at times. But when it happens, especially on these cypresses, man, it made me fish so much faster with him than I wanted to, because I felt like I had to defend everything.
Yeah, it's part of the game. It's crazy. Did you turn around and say, look, man, cast up from the boat?
I did not. No, because I put myself in his situation. I would be doing the same thing. He didn't do anything illegal or wrong.
So
he was just aggressive.
He was just pushing. You mean he cast in front of you, or cast like to the next?
Well, it's more like I'm fishing here and there's cypresses over here, and obviously my boat can turn over here any second and fish those cypresses too. Like I just couldn't defend everything.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, look, when you're in the cypress patch, man, there's a lot of casting opportunity. I mean, you can't hit every knuckle because, A, you don't know where they are. I mean, yeah, of course, those fish are going to be on the base, But there's a lot going on in the cypress tree. There's an art to fishing cypress for sure, man. It's crazy. Very much so. Very much so. It's a wild, 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 wild west thing. Dang.
Yeah,
man.
I don't think there's a law in bass that a co can't cast past the middle of the boat. I think there is an ABA.
Really? Interesting. It's just a
don't
common
know.
kind of courtesy, right?
Yeah. No, listen, he was doing what I would be doing, so I'm not. It just made me fish faster. That's all.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Man, good stuff, man. Good stuff.
So was that on day 1 or 2 when you had that co-angler?
I'm not going to mention it.
Oh, that way we will know who it is. You got a 50-50.
Right.
If you're watching, no,
and he wasn't bad. He was a good guy. He was just aggressive. That's all.
He was aggressive, good guy.
I drew a girl on Champlain once in one of these opens, and she was the most aggressive co-angler I've ever fished with.
Really? Trade Zaldane acted like that? I can't believe it.
No. There was a buoy. Never mind. I told that story before.
You did tell that story. So, hey, man. Well, I mean, we got to fish with Roland Martin, dude.
Yes. We got a lot to cover. Listen, we got a lot to cover. I got a special guest coming up real quick. Before we go there, I do want to say one more time here. We have, if you guys donate Super Chat, you get we're giving away a Monster Bass bag, a couple Smallmouth Crush buffs, and a really cool, not on the market, can't buy this particular color, which I will do some damage on the big smallmouth Gajo Spirit Shad, 4-inch Gajo Spirit Shad that I stole from the Native Americans when I was up there, apparently.
Oh, you definitely did. I watched him make you put it back.
So anyone who donates in the Super Chats gets entered into that drawing.
That's the first time I've been to Will's corporate headquarters, worldwide headquarters.
I know,
loading
dude.
Me up with baits.
Alex, can you do me a quick?
Loading me up with baits, and Travis like,
know.
"Can I get some?" And Will was like, "I think you were in the doghouse with Will for almost cancel." He's like, "No, Manson, you get nothing."
Yeah. Alex, can you do me a favor? Can you go on St. Croix's website right now under the Victory lineup and see if they have the spy bait rod available?
I'll look it up.
Dude,
if you could.
Throws like a bomb.
Listen, Eric, we can't really talk about it yet. I'm not sure if we can talk about it yet. But Marcos, Travis, have you ordered one of those St. Croix Victory rods? So excited to try. Have you tested one yet? Mark, I have all the St. Croix Victory rods right now, and I am blown away. First of all, I got to make a video. Like, I didn't want to go there tonight, but we can real quick. I've been blown away by the St. Croix Victory rod lineup. I've also been blown away by the new St. Croix Legend Extremes. You know the old green ones, and I love them. You guys know for last 8 years, that's all I used. Their new one, Eric, I used it a lot in this past tournament. I just got them last week.
Yeah,
the new 7-foot Legend Extreme is. I was pissed when they stopped making the old green ones. Super pissed, and I still have all of mine. I'll never sell them.
Yeah.
Okay. I promise you, 30 years from now, if I'm still alive, blood clots don't get to me. Actually, you know what I'm thinking? Dehydration and standing all day. I watched some YouTube videos on the way to my guide trip today, and that's why I'm getting leg cramps.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. Adds up.
You can't be drinking coffee and White Claw. I need 100 ounces of water every day, so I tried to suck down some today. So listen, where was I going with this? So the St. Croix. How did I get on that?
Dude, I don't know.
We were talking about the Victory rod.
Anyways, that Legend Extreme feels so good in your hand, you guys. I'm not making this shit up. If you guys want the best finesse rod on the market, I don't care if you're a G. Loomis fan, because I know that the haters are coming.
It doesn't compare.
You're wrong.
You see,
Eric.
I wouldn't have said anything if you didn't throw down.
I didn't say it to you. I was going to say it to one of those guys in these comments. David Brown. He always goes Loomis. David Brown. We know you love Loomis. You can stop talking about it in the comments, okay?
He won't, and I won't. You got to stop talking about Loomis. Just don't focus on the competition. Focus on your brand.
Yes.
And the hate won't come, bro.
I'm just saying, dude.
I got to feel both.
St. Croix Legend Extreme is pretty good. Did you not like it? Now,
it's an excellent rod.
Alex, do they have the spy bait rod?
So it doesn't say specifically spy bait, but they have 3 models out there: 610 medium light, 7.1 medium, and 7.3 medium. Are any of
Okay.
those 3 the ones you're looking
Now,
for?
so I'm not sure if I can technically talk about
Okay.
that rod yet, but I will tell you this: they will be coming out with a rod that's designed for spy baiting. And Eric and I tested it out, and I was blown away by this rod. And I think Eric was
Wow.
too.
It honestly,
It will launch a spy bait
forever.
Crazy.
What pound braid did you have on?
5 pound power or
Yeah,
power Cortland. Sorry.
Oh God, with an 8 pound leader, right?
Yes,
dude, that cast a mile. I mean, literally, I felt like I was casting it a football field.
Wow.
I cast it into the trees. You
casted it through a tree into a willow. I got a video of that. Can I put it on my story?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to see it.
I know. I asked you. I'm like, why are you videoing this, Eric? Turn it off.
Because I thought it was hysterical. I go, that's interesting. Travis was literally throwing it. I'm like, he's
squirrel hunting.
bombing. He's bombing the cast. And I'm like, holy cow, man. So I think he was trying to get to this willow before I was. Like, I'm the in the back, and he's got to get the fish in front of the willow. So I'm trying to get there, and so he's going to show me. And he ends up throwing it through an oak tree into the willow. And I'm like, oh, man, it was funny. It was pretty funny, actually.
I'm super excited about. They're going to come out with a hair jig rod as well. I love them. Their frog rods are amazing. Some of these rods you guys don't have access to yet. So, and they're very particular about talking and whatnot about. I don't know if they have the jerkbait rod out, but I have the jerkbait spinning rod and the bait caster. And
Jerkbait spinning rod. That's interesting that you finally come my way. I mean, I did buy the wrong one, but hello. Your eyes have been open, especially on those stud smallmouth guys that use them. You may have been missing out.
I have.
I bought the wrong one, but I had the right idea.
Eric, I know exactly what you mean.
Man. Hey, man, you saw me whack them on the year before. I thought my rod was too stiff. Obviously, I had the right freaking rod the first year. Should have stuck with that.
Yes.
But no, I had to go out and buy Randy Blockett's rod. I ordered the wrong I'll never live that down, but that was pretty funny. Looking at the damn live scope, thinking your jerkbait was mine. I'm like, he's right on mine. I'm like, hey, buddy, I got the cone pointed just outside your jerkbait. You ain't seeing shit. It's my bait. I got him.
Yo, you ready soon, Brohim?
Yeah, I'm ready. I've been watching your video.
All right. Well, hop on.
All right, I'm going to enter studio.
Okay. Anyways, we got my buddy coming up real quick. We got to get into the real shot tackle tip of the week before we bring on our first guest of the evening. This might go all night. I got to fish tomorrow. There it is. Hey, let me roll the intro just so we can make this official. Eric, if you don't mind.
Roll it, bro.
I'm trying.
You control the buttons. I don't.
I know. It's hard. It's hard. All right, so the real shot tackle tip of the week, the Kitech Easy Shiner, 4-inch, 3.5, 3-inch. Eric, where do we start with this? Because I'm going to tell you, I've been using these drop shotting for quite a bit in current, especially the smaller ones. But it is a sneaky little swim bait. And remember when we fished with Cornell with YouTube fishing vids on Potomac a few years back? And he was out with us and kind of opened my eyes. I know you've been using that technique, but he would Texas rig it with the perfect setup,
8 pounds.
Very lightweight, and he would be casting in the shallow grass, the grass flats on the tidal waters, and had some success with it and some extreme confidence. And ever since then, I started using these quite a bit. But not only are they great for just a standard swim bait on a jig head, Texas rig, but they also work well on the back of a chatterbait, a swim jig. They're very versatile. They're very limber. They don't last long unless you use a screw lock, which we've talked about before.
Right on.
But they are probably one of the top swim baits out there. And obviously a lot of people use Kitex. You know, the what is it? The swing impact fat is a great swim bait as well. But these easy shiners are the deal, guys. And I'm gonna take a quick break real quick. I gotta step aside for just 1 second. I'm gonna let Eric talk a little bit about those applications real quick.
Yeah, excuse me. So the easy shiner, the finesse swim bait. So slicked off water, maybe just a little wind, pressured situation, smaller bait fish, anywhere you want to fish it, not overpowering, lighter braid to fluoro, right? And an 1/8 ounce bullet weight pegged. This should jam right there, man. Pick a bait fishy color and go to work. You'll be surprised. J-bend hook is fine. You don't really need an EWG on this because there's not a lot. It's super soft. It's got a squid scent. And man, I got to tell you, man, these things are dynamite. It's one of my top chatterbait trailers. Black and blue, green pumpkins, you know, bait fishy colors. That's probably all you need right there. Real Shot's got them, man. Check them out.
Absolutely. And I remember back, it's been over a year now, when you guys did those 7-day lives in a row.
Yep.
I remember you did a finesse fishing episode, and there was one of the, I've probably listened to that like 3 times. There's a lot of good information there. So go back, guys, check that out if you haven't seen it. But you mentioned with that, I'm pretty sure it's this bait, Eric. You talked about for bedfish, when they get real leery, you can't really get them to bite anything. And you make it real small and they'll just suck it right in. So is that something you do a lot with that bait?
Yeah. So in bed fishing, man, you guys would not believe the power of a micro bait to get a bedfish to bite. One that seems to be lockjawed. You know, you can cut this thing down like the tail portion. So it's got a little, I mean, I'm talking about like that much of it, and make it a little head open, you know, size 1 drop shot, split shot hook, shiner hook, you know, the drop shot hook that everybody uses. And you'd be amazed, man. You'll see that bass suck it in, move it right off the bed. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
So in the comments, they want to talk about how he was fishing this in that grass in the Chesapeake, but it was an 1/8, even a 16th ounce Texas rigged with just a 3-odd or even a 2-odd if you're using a smaller one. I would say extra wide gap hook.
I don't think you need an extra wide gap on this one, man. A J-bend's fine. You want that thing. You want that hook to really blend.
Not get stuck in. Yeah, I got you.
Correct. So
good
just
point.
Super streamlined, man. A J-bend.
I would use an extra wide gap because that's just what I like. But go ahead.
That's fine. But a J-bend, I hate an extra wide gap, especially. That's the one Gamakatsu hook I don't like is their EWG hook. I don't like because the eye is in line with the hook point. There's no bite gap. You follow me? Yes. J-bend's got a lot of gap and a ton of bite, and it's perfect for this. So anyway, you know, there are a lot of good extra wide gap hooks out there. I do like the G-Lock, but that's the exception. Anyway,
and so even the 3-inch, and I think do they make a 2.5? I don't know if they make it. Yeah, I'm sure they do.
I don't think they do.
Maybe not. But the 3-inch is a great drop shot bait in current, you guys. I mean, Gobi's the color of choice for me. They have the shad. It's like that purple color. I could get one down here. Black blue, deep blue is this one right here, which is a great choice. I'm going to give you guys a little hint. Why not? Eric, have I done some damage on small swim baits on the Chesapeake Bay this time of the year?
Tremendous damage. Fishing
accidentally.
Fishing for food.
So on a lot of my guide trips, I would throw this little swim bait out there in the grass flats while I'm guiding to catch perch for dinner. And guess what happened? Big largemouth like that bait as well. And I actually have used that bait in tournaments throughout the year on the Chesapeake Bay in the grass.
Yep.
And it definitely catches them. So if you head on over the Real Shot you can use the code SmallmouthCrush 15% off your order. If you haven't been to the Real Shot lately, they got a bunch of tackle in stock. Of course, they don't have any Shimano Vanfords yet. Does anybody? Where are the Vanfords?
Dude, in Stanford. I don't know, man. What's going on with that?
But they have a lot of the 3-inch, 3.5. There's a link right there in the description below. It takes you right to it. And definitely help support the channel. So I would definitely give yourself, do yourself a favor and pick some of these up and give them a try. Just slow rolling it too on the small, 1/8 ounce, 3/16, 1/4 ounce ball head jig. It will put some big smallmouth in the boat as well for you.
There's no question about it, man.
This almost looks like a June bug swim bait.
Almost.
To the,
but not
hint
quite.
to the EE.
Hold on, man. I'm looking for something special.
Because I don't know if he's been bringing that thing out. I think he missed a couple shows.
Man, you know. The OG. There it is. Never too far from me, man. It's never too far. Hey, the Tacklecraft June Bug EE collab made an appearance in New York and got the job done.
And we have that video somewhere.
And
I need somebody. I need like an intern that would grab all these things, take all this footage. And I know Alex isn't the man because he's always going on honeymoons and working for Bass U, and he ain't got time for this. But I just need somebody that can pull these clips for me, bro. Because I ain't got time to even send him the footage. So I don't know how we're going to get. I need like a live-in helper. Like somebody should be washing my truck right now while I'm doing this live show.
What are you talking
I don't
about?
want any bugs
just make
in the
some more
window.
money, dude. Keep hustling. Keep your hustle on. You'll get there.
All
But right now, you can't afford it. So, stop yapping about it, bro.
You just need your son to age about 5 years real quick, and he could start doing all that for you.
There you go. SmallmouthCrush, put that homie to work.
Well, I do.
What's up? What's up, Robert? What's up, Robert? John Henning got his June bug crankbait in, man. That's right. And the
cool
shirt. I'm stoked, man. Can't wait to see it before. Send in the pics.
Hey, let me know in the comments if there's any new people watching that have never seen our live show before. I'm always interested in that. We got 300 peeps.
Who's on?
Pretty sound.
Everybody's on, man. John Mango. What's up, John? You got yours too. That's
Jamie
awesome,
Newton. You know what? I think it was either Jamie or Saint gave me a tip about line management. And I want to talk about that. Without further ado, let's bring on our next guest. Who could it be? Eric's I don't know. I don't know.
What's going on?
Randolph, what's up, Rohim?
Hey, what's going on?
Lucas, my boy Lucas. So Lucas and I, we've known each other for a number of years. It all started with my buddy Matt Stasiak, and we met at those cabins on Oneida Lake. And ever since then, we've been buds. That's the week you flooded your Ranger. Remember?
Oh, I remember quite well. Yeah. Also made the top 10.
Yeah. Walk us through that. That was pretty funny. So, if you guys don't know, there's a campsite. What's it called? Something Livery, Charlie's.
Yeah, something like that. It was like a little shed that we stayed in.
Yeah, we stayed in a little shed. It's Matt, Lucas, and we could park right outside in this little marina pond / lagoon
/ ditch. Yeah.
Ditch, and you pulled your boat up kind of on the bank, right? It was kind of laying like this.
Just a little bit.
And it rained like a mother that night.
All night long.
All night long.
So we went out there. My boat was sank.
Your boat was underwater.
Completely, the back end of it was underwater.
The whole thing. So
my life jacket was one of those inflatables, and it blew up and blew the lid open on the back compartment.
Oh, wow.
Battery charger and all that stuff went out. So we got it village pumped out. So then I had to get a new charger from the Ranger trailer when they were doing those tournaments, when they traveled and had all the parts. So they gave me a new one for free. Dang. So it worked out. It was fine. So
speaking of sunk boats, if you just let me tell a quick story. So
yes.
Scooter Lilly, my partner, and Pal Kemp, they're partners in Carolina Woods and Water, which is their hunting operation. So they have found this group of fish way up the Roanoke. But you can't get out of your boat to get gas. And the only way to get gas to make this 70-mile trip to like blow the tournament out is to back Pal's truck with the trailer on it into the water with gas cans in the bed of his truck, covered by a blue tarp the night before the tournament.
You can
So
do
they
that?
they make their big run. But what they didn't know was because of a hurricane brewing down the coast, they opened the floodgates to the Roanoke, and a 10-foot wall of water came down the river just as they were coming up. They saw the blue tarp about a half mile from the truck, and Scooter goes, "Pal, that's the blue tarp to your truck with covering the gas cans." They get to the truck. There is water in the front seat. He has sunk his truck. There are logs. Literally, they saw like a cabin coming down the river. It is so flooded, man. To hear them tell this story, and they kept fishing. They thought they could actually win it, man. They're like, the fish are still on the bank, Scooter said. And they're like, "Pal, like, where's the bank? There's 10 feet of water. There's 10 feet more of water." Isn't that the craziest story you've ever heard? Sunk the truck, dudes.
There's always issues, man, when it comes to that stuff. But thankfully, the service crews, you know, they're at these bigger events that at least can get you out of a bind. But
Right.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. And then, Lucas, you did well. We fished an ABA a few years back, Lake Ontario.
Yeah, I was leading that till you weighed in.
And
I done packed that deck in my mind.
Right.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was fun.
It was.
So, Lucas, what are you fishing this year? You in the Toyotas and the Opens? What you got your hands on?
Nothing. I'm just fishing local stuff this year, dealing with business stuff and
Sure.
all that, doing a lot of yard work around here. So, nonstop. Next year, hopefully, fish the Opens, Coastas, or whatever, Toyotas, whatever they will be.
Huh. I'm just typing a reply. Hold on.
So, Lucas, what would you say is your home body of water?
Probably a lake you've never heard of, but Mill Creek over in Illinois. It's only like 811 acres.
Okay.
That's the lake I grew up on.
You said Illinois?
Yeah.
So, you ever go down the Ohio River a lot?
Yeah. We have BFLs there. So,
yeah.
Tanner's Creek, Rocky Point in southern Indiana.
Yeah.
And then I fished Maysville when I fished the Buckeye Division a couple years ago. It's a real good pool.
So, Lucas, you're in Indiana. Alex is in Indiana. How far away are you guys from each other?
I'm in Muncie. Where are you at, Lucas?
Fishers, Indianapolis area, like Geist. I live in Geist.
Yeah, it's like an hour away.
Dang.
Pretty cool. How's Geist been the last couple of times I was there? It sucked. Has it been picking up lately?
No, it's a shithole.
Yeah. I think that lake just gets so much pressure. I'm even impressed there's still fish that bite in there. It's pretty ridiculous.
There's a tournament every day.
Wow.
And it's not good?
It's a horrible lake. So
yeah,
it would be really good. I mean, it's decent fishing, but night fishing is the best thing out there. So
man, so I never got into that. I hear on these pressured bodies of water, and I'm thinking even on the Chesapeake, Eric, maybe we should do a night thing.
Dude,
do you do that, Lucas? Do you get out there?
I fish. We have midnight to 9 a.m. tournaments here. They started 4 weeks ago. So every other Saturday we have one from midnight to 9 a.m. So if I fish a tournament somewhere on Saturday, I got to book at home, try to get a nap, and then go out there.
Wow. Dang, that's a grinder, man. Travis, back to the comment of fishing a night thing on the bay. My experience has been if fish are really actively feeding because the body of water is not super pressured or there's an abundance of food, man, they don't feed heavy at night. It's tough.
Huh.
It's almost the reverse. But if it's pressured, like there's a deep, clear lake in Western Maryland called Deep Creek Lake. And in the summer, it's super hot. It's a grinder. So maybe that's when we do it. You can catch them at night, but it's tough because it gets a lot of pressure, a lot of boat activity during the day. At
How do
night, that's
people
when they
drive
pick up.
around? Because when I launch for the BFL at 5 a.m. or 4:30 in the dark, I mean, it wasn't easy.
GPS.
Yeah.
Are you running?
No, so here in Indiana, you can only idle.
Okay.
So it's idle after dark, sunset, sundown.
well.
But in Tennessee, they run full speed. Like they have these motorcycle headlights on their motor or their boats, full speed.
That's crazy.
That's probably why there's a lot of accidents down there. So
Yeah.
but yeah, they don't mess around down there. So
Damn. I'd
But I
like to
will-
give it a try. Some of those guys get set up real hardcore. Like, do they still do those black lights or is that like 1985?
no, there's some guys that use them.
Don't they have like that strand that glows in the dark and
Yeah,
shit?
yeah. It looks like the size of a baseball bat across a lake. You can see it glowing. But yeah, I don't use that. I like throw a spinnerbait and a chatterbait at night. That's the only two things. And this lake has all houses all the way around it, so a lot of them have lights outside. So even if it's not a full moon, you can see everything. So
Oh, that's cool.
Sure.
What's your favorite nighttime spinnerbait? A 38 special?
well, I mean, just a strike key nighttime bait. I mean, I throw it. That nighttime spinnerbait has that big Colorado blade on it.
Yeah.
But probably 90% of the time, I'm throwing a chatterbait.
Yeah. Okay.
So
What makes you choose the chatterbait over the spinnerbait?
because about 75 fish a night will eat a chatterbait. So that's the truth. So
Yeah.
they do. They eat it. I reckon they just think it's like a ball of shad going by or just something smaller. But you just fish docks out there. You can fish grass beds, but I just fish docks that hang out on corner posts and stuff like that. And then a lot of times people have them lights across the bank, and then you can see like where the shadow is, the dark line, and those bass will hang out right there. And you just bring that chatterbait by, and they'll yank the rod out of your hand. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it's my
I'd
favorite
be
tournament.
So we talked about this. There's a little echo. Lucas, you got those earplugs?
Earplugs.
Yeah, you got something to take that echo away?
I don't even know what
No,
So-
earbuds, dude, not plugs.
You know what I mean?
earbuds. No,
Lucas, do you have YouTube open in the background as well?
no,
Okay, that's weird.
Let's do this.
Mic
Does that
check
help?
1 2. Yeah.
Sounds a lot better. Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Can you hear us still?
That sounds
Yeah, I
better.
can hear you.
Oh, good. Well, there's still a little echo, guys. We're gonna fight through this. I wanted to have Lucas on to talk a little bit about your little invention or your little product that's been a lifesaver for me when it comes to line management. I know I did a video about this, but I wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about that because I know you've been really busy selling a ton of them all over the country. And it's and Alex, if you can put this up in the down below, it's the website's anglerconcepts.com. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
anglerconcepts.com. And you have a couple different products, but let's talk about right here, the spool mate,
Yeah.
because these are pretty cool. Like, it's changed my line management for the better.
Yeah.
And I have a little, I just bought, here's what I do. I'm just going to share with you guys what I do. So I have this little Plano box, and this one's going to be designated for my smallmouth line. So I got it labeled already. And I forgot if it was Juice Newton or Saint in the comments mentioned, here's what we do. So I'm going to take some Gamma Touch, 5-pound touch. I got 7. I got some different leader materials. And all we're going to do is we're going to open up that spool. And typically what I've done in the past, we've all been there, right? Like, it's already unwinding on me and it's all over the place and it's a mess. And they have this little tape here, but that doesn't cut it. I normally take a rubber band, and half the time that rubber band doesn't hold these. So now what we do is we take that spool mate and I just thread the line through it. Real simple, except it's a little kinked. There we go. And I put that on this spool, wrap it around, And we have a little tag end here that's can make it a little bit snugger. And all it's going to do is allow you to take that line out. Actually, it's too snug. It allows you to take that line out of there without having to lose any of it, right? Like it stays there, and you cut it and you can fish with it. But here's what I do. So I actually put it in this Plano box, and they have these little tabs, right, to stick that line through. And so I do this with my largemouth leader material as well. And I put that in the box just like so. And so I'm going to have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12-pound leader right there, ready to go. You can take it off. And now here's the coolest part. And this is what one of the viewers of the show in the comments a few months back, and now I can't find the damn things.
The bobber stop.
The bobber stopper, dude.
Like, so you just put a bobber stop on the front, man.
Yeah, now I can't find the damn thing.
That's so awesome.
Dude, so you put the bobber stopper on here, and it won't allow that line to ever come back in there, which was one of the most frustrating things about these boxes, was the line would always get stuck back inside. And now with the spool mate on your spool, it's not coming off. It's not going to unravel. And with that bobber stopper stopping it, I did this for the last month on the Chesapeake when I'm re-rigging, when guys break off or get snagged. I just take this box, dude, and I'm just tying up, pulling it out, put this bobber stopper back, and all my line is perfect for the next day. And I haven't had an issue with line tangled up. Dude, it's amazing. Like, it's going to save you time. It's going to keep you organized. Yes, Eric.
I was raising my hand because I have a different application for Lucas's product. So if you're a co-angler, you guys have seen me use that spider wire bag. So as a fly fisherman, they make a leader loop that you can hang on your bag. So you take your leader material spool that Travis just showed, use line made from Lucas, right? And then you hang them on that fly tying leader spool thing, and you clip it on your bag with a gator clip. And dude, it's your leader materials right there on your bag. It's accessible. You do the bobber stop trick, and you've got yourself a line management system as a co, because you can't bring a leader box with you. You follow me? So I have to have an inventive way to have leader material with me and travel lighter. So that's for the guys with the boat, but for the co's in the back, do it that way. Use this product. It's outstanding. You're not tangled up, and you've got it right there out of your bag. You don't have to dig anything. It's right there on top of your bag.
Absolutely.
Boater and Co.
Lucas, what's the code? Is it Smallmouth Crush
15
or 10? Smallmouth Crush 10?
Yeah, we have a Smallmouth Crush 10.
Smallmouth Crush 10 gets you 10% off. Anglerconcepts.com. The spool mates. Like I said, such a simple product that really eliminates a lot of issues that you have out there. I mean, I actually, and I see John here in the comments go, he realizes he has way more spools than the spool mates, and he needs some more. I'm in the same boat, man. I got a lot of line, and it really does help tremendously. So I can't say enough about that. Good stuff.
I came up with that idea during the midnight to 9 a.m. tournament.
Really?
So I was just gonna ask, yeah, how'd you come up with it?
I got what I would consider a bald eagle's nest in the middle of the night. I only took 2 rods. One had a spinnerbait, one had a chatterbait. So I had to put the line on, and I was chasing that spool around in the boat, and it drove me insane. So I was thinking about it all night, and I came home the next morning and come up with that idea.
That's awesome.
Well, the cool thing about that too is when you are just re-spooling, because you can set that tension, and I actually reel it all the way up to like it's normally right at the tip, and I just reel, and it all comes off perfectly. I've done that with all the braid, the Cortland braid, as well as the Gamma Edge. And now I actually have 2 of these boxes. You know, I'm going to have one for the smallmouth, so the Gamma Touch, and some of the smaller leader material. And I have another one that's designed for the largemouth leader material that I'll use on my spinning rods and things like that. And it works great. It's a perfect solution. I want to know, in the comments here, was it Jamie or was it Saint that gave me the idea about that bobber stopper, because they mentioned that a few months back, and I want to give credit where credit is due. We sent Eric a few of them. You like them. You're digging it.
Love
you got
it,
them
man.
rigged up.
Love it. Love it.
Lucas, what
Yes,
else
sir.
do you have on now? You have like a screensaver, right, for your electronics?
Well, it's a cover,
protector, a cover.
Yeah, just a cover. It's called the cloak, made out of marine grade vinyl. I had issues with my Lowrance sunscreens flying off going down the road, so I made these covers to be able to go over the top of them. They're just made just right, where you don't have to have that old sun cover on them, but you can put these on there, and it'll fit over them or without them, and it holds them on. It cinches down, has a drawstring. Probably sell 10 of those a day. Like, it's crazy. People like them. So,
do you have one you can hold up?
No, I'm down in the basement. Those are up in the mail room where the wife works. I work in the R&D department.
Right.
CEO's office, but for some reason she's on the top floor and I'm in the basement. So,
dang, dude, you got a lot of stuff going on. So you got into, I mean, I've had you hook me up with some decals in the past, things like that. So you're always kind of dabbling. What's on the horizon, and where do you see this all going, dude?
You know what? The crazy thing, I came up with that trolling motor strap. I've had that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anybody that has a Lowrance Ghost or a Garmin trolling motor, so I can't design one for it, but I've had a 4Trex and an Ultrex. So I made that lockdown strap for those. I used it for about a year. Never had no issues with it. Just wanted to use it in rough water and stuff. I think you and Stasiak both broke that flat bar in your trolling motors. We were at Oneida and Lake Ontario, because the head flies up and down in that rough water. So that Velcro strap doesn't do very well. It doesn't hold the best. So I made these lockdown straps. They're phenomenal. So they're like 300 pounds of holding strength. So easy to undo, easy to put on. So I got a couple other things coming down the pipeline that I've been working on for Angler Concepts, but I do that and have the tungsten business. So stay pretty busy. So,
and we're going to definitely be talking about that in the future as well. I got to get my hands on some of those covers for sure. So I got 5 units on the boat I got to take care of. Some Garmins, some Hummingbirds. I know it's crazy.
Yeah, obviously.
Who would have thought?
I have 3 on my boat and I only turned 1 on.
Right.
The others are just for looks. So.
I gotcha. Jeez, wife, settle down in the background. Hey,
make a bunch of racket.
Congratulations.
Let's meet her. Bring
Happy
her in.
honeymoon.
Bring her in.
No, she can't hear you.
Come on, man.
She can't hear you. Come on.
They want to meet you. You want to go on?
No.
She said no.
We need to meet her one day.
Lucas, where's your wife? Bring her on. Is she packing boxes right now?
Oh, she's probably in bed, dude. She has to get up and go to work. Well, she doesn't have to go to work. She has to go to the office. She works from home now. So
I gotcha.
Ever since the coronavirus hit, she's been working from home. So.
Are those straps for the trolling motor universal size?
Yeah, they'll fit any Ultrex or 4Trex.
Okay. Gotcha. You can find those at anglerconcepts.com. Man, so let's talk fishing, Lucas, real quick. So Lucas and we fished a BFL regional on the Chesapeake Bay about 2 years ago. And Eric, I think that was the tournament. You introduced me to power shotting, and we made a long run. Well, Lucas made even a longer run. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I remember that long run. You talked about it.
Yeah, I made it one way. So I had
so you went, let's just say it was,
that's incredible.
It was past the bridge, which
Legendary.
I don't even know what it's called. What's it called?
Is that Chester River?
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't want you to say the name, but go ahead.
Okay, my bad. So, but yeah, I found some fish about 30 miles up that thing in skinny water. maybe a little bit farther.
so
So I blew my, I had an
That's so
Evinrude, the first
crazy.
gen Evinrude. I blew it about 20 miles into the trip, but kept running it. So, there was a bridge that we were
God.
supposed to idle underneath, and there was some woman working some drawbridge thing or whatever that is back there. And we had to blow through it because I couldn't shut my motor down. So we went through there doing about 45. That was wide open because I blew a cylinder. So, but yeah, we caught fish. We just couldn't weigh them in. And then the wife had flown into Baltimore, and I picked her up the day before. And during the tournament, she was at some wine tasting place. I had to call her to go get my truck. She took an Uber to go get my truck. And then I ended up, I had to dropped a pin in someone's backyard that had a ramp.
Wow.
And she brought my boat and trailer and backed it down through their backyard so I could load my boat out. So it was a long day. It was good fishing though. So
Well,
What were you sitting on? How many pounds that you didn't weigh in?
probably 13. My
Which how
co-angler
much?
probably had 13. My co-angler probably had 10. So
Wow.
it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a good time back there. So
There's a lot to be explored if you want to on the bay. There's more than just the upper Chesapeake, the flats, the Northeast River. There is definitely places to explore and run. That would probably be the limitations. Were you going to have to fill up to get back?
So I think with that motor, I was going to have to. I think I found a place that had fuel. There was a marina, I think on the other side of the bridge coming out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I had called
Travis,
them and told
I
them.
think we got kicked out of that marina.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So
we did practice down there.
We did. We practiced down there.
Well, we walked the bank,
No
Lucas.
go on that dirt
day.
ramp. We walked the bank, and I caught a bass and got kicked out of the marina. I mean, the guy was nice enough, but I got a couple in that marina. They were there. One was a good one.
Well, Lucas was way back, even past that other. What's that major highway that runs over? You know what I'm talking.
Oh yeah, I was way past that one.
Dude, that was crazy.
I
It
don't
was
know.
phenomenal.
I think that's the bridge you blew under.
What made you explore that?
To get away from everybody.
Yeah.
And you told me there was no fish down there. So I had to find out for myself.
Jeez.
It was, I had never fished tidal water before. I didn't quite understand it, but it's just like fishing current, one way or the other. They're stacked on one side of something or the other side.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it was. And we caught
Great
four
analogy.
fish off. We caught 4 fish off of one dock on 4 casts. Just flipping.
Yep.
So it was good.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of pressure.
I could see why. I went through an engine to get there.
Oh my God.
It was bad.
Crazy.
Jamie goes, I thought that was a haul from Dundee, but from Northeast, crazy. Yeah.
That's a legendary run right there, man. That's ballsy.
My co-angler was a local.
Title.
Was he?
He said that was the farthest. He said we were in saltwater.
All right.
So
very well could have
were.
been. Now
you definitely were pure salt, man.
And day one.
No, very well was. Not could have been.
It was?
Absolutely was to get there.
Now it wasn't necessarily
Travis.
It wasn't necessarily calm day one either, as I recall.
No, it was rough.
Because I went down to Gunpowder and I had that Teenage Marine troll tamer on my trolling motor.
Mm-hmm.
And it came undone on the run somehow. And then when it came back down, it sliced my wires on my Ultrex. So I get all the way back to where I'm going and put the trolling motor in and realize I'm trolling motorless that day.
I had one of those on mine.
Jeez.
And when we were at Oneida, the third day when I made the top 10 up there for that Toyota, it was so rough. It was like 6-footers out there. That thing ripped that bottom out, those 3 screws, and then came back down and the spike went through the floor of my boat.
Jeez.
And it broke that flat bar, so my trolling motor was doing circles all day.
Oh my!
So That was rough.
Yeah, that's not good. I mean, there's like
what you guys
that's-
do to win.
that's
That's
so
just so
scary.
crazy, man. Lucas,
It's-
how long did it take you to get there one way?
I had to take them 2 hours.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. I mean, it was even slower when you can only go 45 when you have a blown engine. So I really thought, I told the guy, I said, we just blew my engine, I think, but I said, maybe if we, something could happen. I said, if I sit it down, we may not get on plane right now. But I said, if we get back here, we fish, we let it cool off, it might start, get up on plane, and then we're running out of here. It didn't get back up on plane.
No. So that's rule number one, guys. If you ever have a lower, even a lower unit issue or a power head, and you hear it as you're running, do not stop.
No.
Try to get to the nearest boat ramp. Last year in an ABA in the St. Lawrence, I made a long run, and I heard the motor going out, and I knew that was the case, and so I immediately turned around. But I thought, and I passed a boat ramp, and I'm like, you know what? I'm still going. I can make it back to the weigh-in area and fish around there and maybe salvage the day instead of just taking a nice hard left. Well, I got about 4 miles north of that, and that's when I completely died. So trolling motor back 4 miles to the ramp is how my day ended. But don't stop, Eric. When that motor blows, keep going.
Yeah.
Lesson learned.
I should have just left it running while I was fishing, but it didn't want to start. But I idled. And my co-angler, he didn't really know how far away we were. He knew it took a while. And he's like, do we have time to idle back? I was like, we've idled 3 miles and we've got 45 minutes to wait. This is not happening. So I felt bad for it, but I mean, I went through 7
Travis,
power
you say don't stop, but when my co said, "Hey man, you got oil spewing out the bottom of your cowling after my boat went," should I just kept going until the engine froze? No, man, I came off plane and it was like soaking the back of the boat, oil everywhere, man. In the semi-national championship finals, man. Damn. And I don't fish many big tournaments as a boater. That was the last one I fished as a boater.
Man, it happens.
Sucks.
You got to be prepared. That's why I'm telling you. I'm actually.
Mechanical issues are part of the game.
So we had a couple questions in the comments. I want to circle back real quick. Guys are talking about. They're asking a lot of questions about the St. Croix rods from earlier. I am going to do a full video here in the next month once I get all the rods in and kind of a breakdown how I use them, which ones I recommend, and that leads me to my next point I wanted to make too. Is I wanted to do a. We're going to make a video of all this craziness and stuff like that, but I'm also going to do a little bit more about tackle management, and obviously the spool mates will be part of that video and how we keep things organized, but also what you bring extra along in your boat for things that come up. Like Scooter really should have had a spare prop. I understand he ordered one, but you should have a spare trolling motor prop. You should actually have another spare prop for your motor as well in your boat.
Have you tried to order a spare prop right now for the Ghost?
I have. I ordered mine already.
There wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, there wasn't one in North Carolina. Not one.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just thinking right now randomly off the top of my head. Marine radio. So listen, I don't know if you guys know this too, but we fish federal waters, right? So the Chesapeake Bay. If you get stopped, you have to have an anchor. You have to have anchor rope. I don't care how dumb of a rule it sounds. You have to have an oar. You have to have flares. You have to have all that craziness in your boat. And if you get a ticket, you're done in these tournaments. So for all you guys that are preparing for even the opens in the future, as well as anything on federal waterways, it all has to be in your boat. And it sucks. Like I bought the smallest anchor. It's the smallest anchor you could find. And I have it in this nice little bag with your, I think it's 100-foot you need rope. But flares, yeah, it's dumb. CB radio, I have a jumper. I'm going to make a video about all this. What else I got? A step ladder, the flogger, just extra stuff. Yeah, for sight fishing. I got all that crap in there, ready to go, because you never know where you're going to need it.
You constantly carry a step ladder in your boat, like in the fall?
It's a little folding one. Like when you're up on the
wait, time out. You still have it all year long? You have a step ladder in your boat?
well, more so when I'm on smallmouth water.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can literally use your trolling motor with your remote, and you can get up there 4 or 5 feet up in the air on your deck, and you'll see a lot more cruising fish by having that.
I've only been on
man, it's like
smooth enough
a bonefish guy on a platform.
Yeah. What was that, Lucas?
I said I've only been on that lake one time, one day that was smooth enough to be on a ladder.
I get it.
Is that legal in most tournaments, Travis? Are you allowed to be on that step ladder? Because I thought about doing that for bedding fish, but I don't know. I feel like it obviously is going to vary per tournament organization, but
I'm pretty sure you can, yes.
Okay.
That would be cool, like if it was calm enough, like, and they knew it was going to be a sight fishing cruising tournament where they could fish off a platform like a bonefish guy, man, and just pull through the water.
Right. That's another thing. A push pull. Push pull's got to have a push pull in the bass boat. I mean,
I've watched you use that a couple times, man.
Yes,
crazy.
You almost need a chainsaw at times, dude. Too. A chainsaw, pitchfork, like
electric one.
Even shoes. Like I have
welding. Yeah.
I have a pair of wet shoes because I wear flip flops a lot. And if you get stuck in muck and stuff, or even sand, it's hard to walk with flip flops. You don't want to be barefoot in that stuff either. So I have a spare set of shoes I'll throw on if I got to get out and push and stuff. Like, I mean, that's stuff that comes up. You got to be prepared for that. It's not funny, Eric. Like, why are you laughing?
Will just texted me. He says,
"What he say?
What the fuck?" He goes, "A step ladder and chainsaw." He goes, "What the WTF?" Is Travis a carpenter now?
Jeez,
Travis the carpenter.
Yeah, extra bilge pump. You know, big time Jimmy built me a bilge pump this spring, man. That's going to come into handy on some of these big waters. Don't show up on Lake Ontario with a 45-inch shaft trolling motor like Tom Nee's gonna this fall. I already yelled at him about it. I go, bro, you need to get that figured out well before September.
Yeah,
if you have a shot,
water areas to just hang around.
If you have a shot at catching over 12 pounds, 2 ounces, and beat your last record, you're gonna need a little bit longer shaft trolling motor.
What'd you have on day 2?
Where?
7 pounds.
I think I
We're
still
gonna call you 7-pound Manson.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's not about Tom Nee. You only caught 7 pounds in a tournament.
We've all been.
I don't know what to tell you.
I think Lucas has won with 7 pounds on the Ohio River before. I'm sure.
It's a mega bag.
That's a pretty good
Ohio
bag.
River.
That's a pretty good bag.
That is a good bag on the Ohio Grinder River, man. That'll make a man out of you, man.
Is it really?
I've had 5 fish for 4 pounds, so 1 fish was negative.
For the
That's
win.
no joke.
For the win. For the win.
I think I got 5th.
That's so crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
Chris goes, the more you watch these videos, the more you realize that Travis is out there. Come on, man. Where do you guys want to go from here?
I'm gonna go get a snack. Have at it. Whoa,
so I got a question.
An 8-pounder, man. Will caught one just shy of 8 today.
A largemouth or a smallmouth? Largemouth or smallmouth, Eric?
What?
Largemouth or smallmouth?
Oh, largemouth.
Oh. I gotcha. God, that was fun.
So I watched your video earlier. I heard you had some co-angler problems.
No, just an aggressive one. Not a problem.
I've had 1 or 2 of those.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah, I love these stories.
Give me one, man.
The one that's the worst is a guy here. I was fishing the BFL. It was at Rocky Point on the Ohio River. And to start the day off, he's handicapped. He only has 1 leg. And I had to get a seat for the back for him to sit in, which is fine. But he couldn't get in and out of my truck. My truck's lifted. So I had to put him in the boat, launch him, let him drive the boat, you know, to come pick me up after I went and parked the truck. Well, anyways, it started off okay, like they always do. And then, like probably 40 minutes into the day, I'm fishing and he kept casting over me and casting over me and casting over. And I kept telling him, man, like, hey, don't be casting in front of me, you know, crossing my line and stuff like that. Well, I ended up going in. There was a creek that had two stumps right next to each other that I've gotten bit off of every day. So I went there and threw at the first one. As soon as I caught that fish, it was probably like a 13-incher, which is a good one for the Ohio River. I put it in a live well, and that dude casts over the front of the boat. His line goes around my ear like a pencil goes, like people hold a pencil.
Right.
And he was casting at that other stump. And I didn't know what it was, and I did this, and it's his line. So I just ball it all up and throw it at him in the back of the boat.
Right.
And that's when it started. So he starts screaming at me, yelling. So I catch a fish off that second stump, and we go to weigh in. He's complaining. He blanked. I think I had 4 in that tournament. He threw a fit to the tournament director. Tournament director told him, you know, there's nothing he could do about it. He had plenty of water to fish because he was saying I was boating him. I mean, there was plenty of water to fish around. There was stuff to fish around. I was just pointed. My boat was directly pointed at these 2 stumps. So anyways, fast forward that year to the super tournament was on the Tanner's Creek. The first day I was sitting in second place after the first day, and this guy was in second place as a co-angler.
Oh, shit.
I drew him, and as soon as he heard my name, everybody started laughing because he went straight to the tournament director and said, you need to tell this SOB that he can't boat me, blah, blah. And I told him, I said, I'm sitting in second place, and the worst I can do is 10th. I said, we'll sit on the bank all day. I don't care. So I said, this is the best finish I've ever had at the Ohio River. So then he apologized, and then it was a shit show of a day.
Jeez.
So yeah, he was a good guy.
What the heck?
Most of them are good. I mean, I fished as a co-angler for a year. I won the points in the Hoosier division, won the BFL regional, never casted it in front of the boat. So some people think you have to, but you don't. So, and trust me, most people do pretty good behind me. I'm not that good. So, and they usually do better than I do. It's like a guided trip.
Right.
So yeah, right. You're gonna put them around fish.
I didn't get a Christmas card from that guy, but it's okay. So,
hey, Waves Kern and Ice was my co on Cayuga, and I guess he was Lucas's co on Oneida in 2017. Canadian boy.
Who was it?
Waves Kern and Ice was Lucas's co on Oneida in 2017.
First, second, or third day?
I don't know.
Well, the best part about that story about that guy on Rocky Point when I first met him, he was mad at the end of the tournament. He was trying to load my boat. I was sitting in line to get my boat loaded, and someone backed down with a black truck. He tried to load my boat on someone else's trailer, and the guy, all my friends are yelling at me, like laughing and pointing, because I was sitting in line, and the guy, that guy, my co-angler yells, "Just shut up and get in the goddamn truck. I'm gonna load it." And it wasn't even me. And that guy's like, "No, dude, this is not your truck and boat trailer." And the dude was yelling. Like everybody was laughing. So, yeah, it was a pretty good time, man.
Oh, that's classic, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, he was a nice guy.
I think we'd all like to see Eric as a co-angler once. I know you don't do it, man, but that would be pretty fun.
Never happened.
Have you ever?
Yeah, I came in, let's see, 12th on the Potomac in the top 100, and had I not lost some fish, I won the boat. Yeah, I fished with Jim Bitter. I fished with Sean Penn, and I fished with Ken McIntosh. And I beat my boater 2 out of 3 days. Not casting over him one time.
Right.
I drop shotted in 1996. I was drop shotting with not a correct drop shot weight. I think I crimped a regular bullet weight So I had a little bit of line twist with a Berkeley Blue Fleck 4-inch power worm that I clipped the curl tail off because I didn't want too much action. And
Jeez.
caught a 3.5, a 1.5, a 2 in a perch. And my boater who was leading day one, Ken McIntosh, said, this isn't working, we're leaving. And I'm
Right.
like, I got 3 in the boat. Why are we leaving? He was pissed. Oh, he was rattled, dude. Yeah, so anyway, man. Yeah.
So
I think I'd do all right.
Who's the guy that fished with me?
I don't want to go on bad boat rides.
yeah, right.
Wave currents,
Nathan
nice.
Tremblay,
Nathan Tremblay.
BFL. He said.
I did. Did I fish a BFL there?
I think you did.
I don't think I did. Did I?
Yeah, you fished the
Oh,
one.
I think you
that
know
we
what?
fished.
Stacey, I didn't fish that BFL that you and Stasiak fished. I fished one the next year. Me and Stasiak stayed up there. So, I think I think the year before that, 2016 is when I did the Toyota series up there.
Right.
Because
I
you
think,
and Matt,
Guys, I gotta go to new power cord. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, I think it might have been.
yeah,
You know, there's been, I guess Matt from BTL had a bad experience with the co. I haven't heard anything on that yet, but you know, as a co-angler, there's some tips I can give from just watching and observing all this. You know, I think a co-angler should really try to do something a little different than what the boater's doing. So if you're throwing a chatterbait, say the boater is, maybe throw a swim jig or a spinner bait or finesse fish. I mean, a finesse baits is a co-angler's best friend. Trying to duplicate and do exactly what your boater's doing sometimes isn't the best at times.
Oh my god.
Way to fish and compete. I don't know if you guys would agree with that or not.
Get a snack in a power cord because my power cord's not working right.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the main thing about being a co-angler is you got to pay attention to where your boater's fishing because a lot of times they flip once or twice at a laydown. They don't hit every part of it or where they're punching at or whatever they're doing. And that's how I did well is I did opposite of everybody else, like whatever my boater was doing. So.
Yeah. No, I think that's the best thing. That and just being versatile and changing up colors for sure. And trying to hit those spots. Like I would keep an eye on where that boater's fishing and how he's fishing. And if he misses something that you see, take advantage of any of those opportunities that come your way. And trying to, you know, one thing was nice about the opens was the no net rule, which was kind of cool. I didn't even know when my coes were hooked up. You know what I mean? I look back and he's messing with a fish there, putting in a live well. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You caught one. But I think it's important to kind of diversify yourself and just try something a little bit different. And a lot of times, you know, I've had it where co-anglers have helped, you know, as far as they've helped me locate fish and, you know, maybe they've been practicing, or they have some ideas. So even as a boater, I don't think, and both ways, because you can share information, I think having that communication there too, if you ask for it, is important as well, and just kind of pick their brains throughout the day. I've done that before. I'm not a prick when it comes to codes. I do talk to them against what some people think. Okay. I do have conversations out there, and it's just, I'm more intense a lot of times when I'm fishing, and it's not like you're fishing with your buddies and stuff like that, just having fun. And so a lot of times people think, well, you know, your boater's rude or he doesn't want to talk. He's just really focused on trying to get the job done.
Well, and I run into a problem that I mean, it's not a problem, but I try to do my co-anglers right. And I always feel like if they can weigh in 5 fish and I do, then it makes me look even better. Like if I come with 5 and they have nothing, it doesn't make me look like I was really on fish. And sometimes I get caught up in that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, there's a difference in co-anglers in the BFL than there is in the Opens or the Toyota series. Co-anglers in the BFL, they almost feel like they're fishing a team tournament, I think. You know, they're not like, I don't want to say professional co-anglers, but the people that are in the Open spend a little bit more money. I think they understand like the etiquette. I haven't really had much of an issue in the Costas or Toyotas, whatever they're this year. The Opens, it's always the BFL, and I don't think them guys understand it. Now, one guy I had that kept casting over me, he kept apologizing because he said he was used to being a boater, and I said, "Dude, I was a co-angler last year. You don't see me thrown over the back of the boat,
right?"
But I mean, most of the time they're great dudes. Like most of the co-anglers I've had, I become really good friends with. And I was a co-angler, and I understand. I mean,
yeah,
I do better out of the back of the boat, anyways.
I told my co-angler Saturday, I go, listen, I got to fire a couple over the back here, just to let these people creeping up on me to know that I'm serious. And so I actually thought I saw a red Triton, and it looked like big time Jimmy, and he was about 60 yards and closing in on me. And so I turned to my I go, I got to fire one back at this dude. And so I chucked my bait as far as I could right at his bow, just to give him a little heads up, hey, I'm aware of what you're doing, Broheem. If you want to be on camera, keep coming. You know what I mean? And and I thought it was Jimmy, but it turns out it was some other dude, so it's all good. But
the boater to boater etiquette's worse than the co-angler.
Yeah, that's true.
It's horrible.
True.
So
yeah, by the way, by the time I had that grass bed to myself, by the time 2-3 hours went by, there was a little crowd. But that's what happens, man, when you're fishing in that deal.
So you fished the Toyotas and you fished the Opens. What did you get a different feeling with the Opens than you did the Toyotas?
Not really.
Oh, I did.
Why?
It just the Toyotas, and I mean nothing against it because there's really good sticks there. Phenomenal guys, and I don't talk bad about nobody. So it's not in a negative way. It's just like the Opens just felt like more like professional. Like it seemed like a bigger deal. I mean, if that makes sense. The Toyota series kind of seems more like a more expensive BFL.
Sure.
So, and I mean, it's almost like, I mean, I can imagine like playing a AAA ball would be like what the Opens are, big crowd, all that stuff. But the Toyota series just didn't. I mean, it's a good series. I love fishing them. Great tournament directors and all that. It's a little different. So
sure.
Yeah. No, it's no, I agree with that statement.
Plus, they play music.
Yeah, they do. So I guess Josh has factory installed equipment, commercial available. I don't know. I just use that step ladder when I'm fun fishing most of the time. I've never used it in competition, but I think every organization is a little bit different. So obviously the MLF, you can't use a step ladder.
I'm sure they look.
Can you step on your motor?
Yeah.
You can step on the motor.
Your trolling motor, sure.
I'm sure they consider that factory installed. I mean, I'm sure they're just doing it to cover their ass too. If you fall in and bust your head, that's not looking too good on there. And
I guess we need to get that butt seat so it doesn't swivel, and then you can just jump on the top of that.
That's not a terrible idea.
That's a pretty good idea. So I invited BTC on. He has not gotten back to me yet. So we're going to save your background, Alex, next. But I do like the smallmouth, but I kind of really like the original largemouth. So maybe we could bring that back and rotate it,
So my goal is to get both of them up there, but I was trying to do this like 30 minutes before the show, and I ran out of ideas. So I'm going to think of a way to MacGyver, because I want to get both of them to have the whole thing. So I'm going to figure out something to get that going, and then so the goal is to have two up at one time. So.
It looks pretty cool how everything's dark now in the background, and it's just you and the fish.
Yeah, I'm glad I finally got it figured out. I know the first month or so I had terrible cameras, I had weird backgrounds, but finally got it dialed in.
Yes.
But, looks a lot nicer.
Mood, man. Good. Mood. You got the mood going, bro.
Well, listen, we all gotta get up early tomorrow. Lucas, I just want to thank you for coming on, guys. Again, what is it? Angler's Concept, the spoolmate. There it is. Pick yourself up some of them.
We need to do something where if you get a free time, you have some free time. I know you're super busy, but we can do a giveaway. Maybe I'll pay for someone to do a guided trip with you or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Something triangular concepts.
That would be cool.
So-
We'll do something like that. And guys, listen, if you do the super chat, we're gonna give a drawing here real soon for the monster bass bag, couple smallmouth buffs, and then the secret God Joe spirit shad. Pretty cool color that's not on the market that I'm looking forward to using here in the future. I know Alex has been taking notes here and keeping track of everyone who entered, and then he's gonna grab a random dude shortly. Any final thoughts, Eric? What do you got going on this week?
I got a final thought. Somebody asked a question: do you marinate your baits before a tournament? And I'll tell you this, man. These little these are pink gotcha sticks, by the way. Smallmouth, love them. I use the little portion bags. You can buy them at Wegmans. And man, I line up my sticks or my Neds, and I'll throw a little scent in there, just whatever you like, smelly jelly. And then, you kind of rub it together, and man, they stay straight. And if you're dialed in, then you know what you're going to be throwing next day. So I might take some green pumpkin baits and I'll dip the tails. But man, that's my little speed pack for tournament day right there. And I could have put a bunch of these in those little soft side.
Where do you get those bags?
With the zippers.
Where'd you get those
these
bags?
Little portion bags. They're called portion bags, and you can get them at any grocery store. They're made by a lot of different, like Wegmans makes their own private label, but Glad makes them portion bags. So yeah, you can write on it. It's great, man. I just put my scent in there and let them marinate overnight. Jack's juice or Bang or smelly jelly, whatever you want, man. And that way, you keep a little towel with you. Take your baits out, pre-dipped, pre-dyed, pre-scented. Yep. Yeah. Speed packs, bro.
Lucas, what's the cloak made from? Jamie Newton asks.
It's marine grade vinyl.
Okay. Fair enough.
Easy peasy. So I got the giveaway winner, Travis, if you're ready for that.
Let's do it.
The winner is Brendan Andrews, lucky number 36 he was. So, Brendan, I think you've messaged me before on Instagram. Just send me your address, and I'll get that over to Travis, and we'll get you your bait. So, thanks for everyone for chipping in. We had some good numbers on that tonight. I always appreciate everyone supporting the channel. And then real quick, while I got everybody too, tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, Bass U's doing some more online seminars. They got Lee Livesey, Jeff Gustafson, and Clint Davis talking tomorrow at 1 p.m. So head over there, sign up for that if you're interested, and check out what they got going on over at the Bass U.
Very cool.
Boom.
And just like that, no fights.
Liquid mayhem. Sean Light.
Almost.
Right, man.
Almost.
I know some of these people are wanting to buy spool mates. Can they wait a few days so I can go fishing? My phone is all just blowing up over here. I'm trying to get out of here for a few days, man.
Where are you going, man?
Illinois.
Travis, we hardly talked about our experience with Roland Martin, man.
I know. Let's talk. I got all night.
You called him Zell Roland.
Did he have shorty shorts on like Tommy Biffle?
No. I got them
man.
a little. I definitely got their names mixed up a few times.
Yeah. Hey, look at Will's new 6-inch freaking swim bait, dude. Look at
pretty
that color,
cool.
man. That green pumpkin blue highlight, dude. That's gonna get me a big this summer. I know just what I'm gonna do with that one.
So, Travis,
Doggy.
I see that color pop
And I
up a
threw
lot
6-inch stick, man.
Yes.
around
Yeah, green
smallmouth.
pumpkin blue highlight, dude. That's a
Pretty
good
legit.
one. But
What
look at
is
his stick. Look at his stick. How limber. Oh, this thing slides on a Nico hook like a dream, dude. You can skip this thing a mile. I think you're going to get bigger bites with the 6-inch stick.
Well,
I was impressed. Super soft. Great action.
we do have the Ike tournament coming up. We might as well throw that.
Why not, right? And this is little tube. Look at that little finesse tube, dude.
Yeah,
That is
we made
bad
a
as
video
bone.
about that too. One of my
Travis,
favorite.
Have you ever used in a pinch? We did. Have you ever used in a pinch the Z-Man Ned head right inside this tube?
Well, you
It fits
showed me on the
perfect,
video
dude.
last week.
It fits perfect, dude.
I know.
I'm so impressed in a pinch.
So some of our favorite
it's
videos that
perfect head, man.
some of my favorite videos that we filmed with Zell Roland Martin was the basically the 60 fish in a minute video or 60 fish in an hour video. 60 fish a minute.
Dude, you're still
That'd be
recovering.
crazy.
We did the how to rig a Cinco,
All right,
multiple
start
ways
now.
to fish a Cinco, and then the bed fishing
No,
episode.
it was the seven
Yes.
ways to fish a Senko.
Yes,
7
and then-
deadly Senko ways.
and then
7
the,
samurai Senko ways.
Yes. John's looking
Whoa.
for his baits too. John,
Go ahead.
get a hold of Will. He'll hook you up. And then the final one actually
else?
was one Eric and I made on our own with Will's baits, and we used the tube.
Swim baits.
It was so much fun. So
And the swim baits. And the swim baits.
and the swim baits. And I did something a little crazy, guys. If you thought biting into a shad was ridiculous.
Wait a minute. We did one with Roland on bed fishing, dude. You were
I know I
Hawkeye.
talked to you about that.
What do you mean? What is going on, man? The show's falling apart. You're getting text. Turn your ringer off. And
That was
focus.
Alex
What the
texting
heck?
me the winner's address.
Oh. Well, that's important. Is that urgent and important?
Yes, it was. And then
No, it's not urgent. It's important. That was a trick question.
I don't know.
You're
So,
tired, dude. You're falling
What
apart
did I
right now.
do? I said I topped the biting the shad up
Yes.
there with Will. Did I not?
OMG. I'm not going to reveal it, but I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
That you did it.
Nasty. I was nasty.
That was nasty, crazy, disgusting. You had visions of dying from some rare microbe, and you're okay.
So now we know how you got those free
That's
baits.
the effects.
I'm going to tell the story because once the video comes out, it'll even top the
You're
story.
gonna tell
So
it? Aren't you-
yeah.
you're-
So we caught a smallmouth that had a bluegill in its gullet, and we took it out to examine it. And I said, you know what? I don't know what I said or what I was thinking, but I said something about I dare. Do you dare me? And they said, yeah, we dare you. That's weird. I go, really? And so I tossed this bait fish up in the air. You know how sometimes you like throw a piece of popcorn up in the air and you catch it with your mouth?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Well,
vomit.
First try, 5 feet
You
up
did
in the
it.
air, and she came right down my throat.
That's nasty.
Anyways,
It truly was. It was digested. There was no skin. It was a white. Had some bones
Oh.
sticking out. Maybe there was a remnant of an eyeball. It was skunky, funky monkey right out of that fish's gullet, and he did it. He goes, I think he started out with, "I dare myself," and I'm like, "You can't dare yourself. Do you dare me?" I didn't dare
I
him.
dare myself.
I wasn't even on my mind.
I'll have to find that video.
I
Dude,
dare
I'll
you.
gag.
I triple
I'm
dog
trying not
dare
to gag
myself.
right now.
That was
Yeah.
disgusting,
It's gonna be
That
pretty
is
cool.
Lucas. And the sound
No.
that it made when
No.
it popped into his
No.
mouth, it was like a
No.
it was like a hulk. It was like a cook. You could hear it go to the back of his throat.
Man,
Oh,
I can't-
dude,
I-
it's skunky.
I can't think about stuff like that. Like it makes me sick. Like I'll gag. And I was staying with Josh Norris and his dad and a buddy of mine, Chris Dotson, and they were eating that potted meat, like that, like those vintage sausage or whatever those are, those
Mhm.
little wiener. I started gagging. Like I couldn't stop gagging, and I'm just horrible, and I can't. Ugh.
Well, listen. So I think the Gajo tube video that we did, because we crushed them on it, and it's a super cool tube, and the fact that I ate a bluegill on the video, and the fact that we hammered some big smallmouth and showed the viewers some different ways, and we actually talked about how we were trying to locate these fish as they positioned off of this shallow flat. Where did they go? And we found them. Remember that?
Yeah.
With the help of
Yeah.
360
Yeah.
and with the tubes, we're able to locate those
Yeah.
fish. And I was all jacked up because we were having an awesome morning just wrecking them on this. And, the emotions just came over me. We started seeing bait fish, these bluegills and stuff flickering. And then next thing we know, I took one for the team. But look forward to that video. That'll be coming out soon. I got the James River practice video will be coming out. We have a couple videos when I was up at Will's a few weeks back that I haven't even gotten to yet. So expect more content from this channel here as I get these videos out. I'm going to be laid up for a few days next week. So hopefully I'll be able to have some time to get that done. And I don't want to talk about it.
Travis, as in operation?
Something like
Manson?
that. Something like that.
I'll be
Getting your tubes
laid
tied?
up for a
I
few
don't
days.
know.
I think that's what it is.
Anyways.
Ball sack! What?
Size of cantaloupe, I hear.
Oh, God, no, not that story. I don't want to hear that.
Which one?
Hey, is anybody a fan of the bandit legs? They don't make them anymore.
Never heard of it.
Change the topic. I don't want to talk about that. All right. Just wanted to know.
Oh, man.
If anybody is, DM me. I'm letting them go. That's my favorite bandit color, by the way. I love that color.
Travis,
that's a good color.
Have you thought about starting an OnlyFans page yet to make money?
Yeah, so we have kind of a Patreons, which will be next week, Monday. I thought OnlyFans would be pretty cool to do, and then I started looking into it, and it's kind of got a bad rap.
Like where
does.
People pay to talk to you, you mean?
Yeah. Like you can watch videos and stuff on there. I do a lot, but it costs a lot of money. And like,
no, I thought OnlyFans was like
it's not supposed to be that way.
I want to hire the guy.
It wasn't intended for that, but
it's for something else now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something else. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of celebrities on it, right?
There's a bunch of apps like that. There's Cameo, there's OnlyFans, Patreon. There's all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, Travis, yes, Lucas, he has asked me about that in the past, and I told him that probably
I really didn't know.
Something we need to look at. Yeah, because
he said it to me. He's like, he's giving me ideas. He's like, I'm gonna do a Patreon, maybe an OnlyFans, and I go, what did you say? Like, you better scratch that one off the list.
You know what?
Yeah,
screw that.
That's not
I got that.
going to be laid up.
You know what? There are some freaks out there that you could probably take pictures of your tackle, and they would pay to see it.
Perhaps.
So, some weirdos out there.
That's suggestive, man. Pictures of your tackle? You mean your gear? The unit?
Tackle.
That's kind of like when I walked in the bathroom up in when we went to the gas station, Eric, and I walked in on you. I go, "What you got there?" And then dead straight, he goes, "Ned rig." He had to be there.
STRD.
I laughed all the way out of that gas station, bro.
I left an STRD too, pal.
Oh man,
finicky tickler. Oh man, crazy.
All right, cool. All right, Lucas.
Yes.
Thank you. Let's do this some more, man. Let's fish together one of these days or something.
I'm gonna try to come up to New York while you're up there.
All right.
See what's going on. So, but thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, Eric, for having me on your show.
Yeah, Lucas, nice to meet you, man. You got it. I'm not even sure Travis introduced us, man. Hi, I'm Eric. Nice to meet you, Lucas.
I thought you guys knew.
Eric doesn't need an introduction.
I thought you guys knew. Knew what? Knew each other?
I don't know.
I mean, like,
now, I'm tired.
When I used to fish as a co-angler, never.
I'm tired.
So,
all right, and as always, until next time, we'll see you guys on the water. Let's do this. What's so funny?
Dude,
we still going?
You're just crashing at the end of the show, man.
I know, bro.
Are we?
Went off the hill.
Crazy.
You're You're crashing Brohosity.
All right. So here's the after hours.
It's telling
Oh,
me you're
still
still alive. Did you hit the button?
Nah, we'll still go for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, you're crashing though for sure.
I
You get a candy
did.
bar too.
No, dude. Like it's just been hard
mean,
dude, fishing.
Oh, there goes Eric.
Screw it. All right. I guess he doesn't want to have fun.
Hate to see that.
Yeah, that's fine. We all got to get up. It's almost 11. We'll see everybody next week, Monday. Patreon. OnlyFans. Check it out.
Should be a good one.
All right. We'll see you guys.